So hello and welcome to the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. It's a qualifier race number 3. Oh my goodness me, it has been a packed and fast month with lots happening in the world of cycling, esports, as well as cycling in general. My name's Matt Payne. I'm going to be taking you through the race action along with Emma Martin. We're in the studios for what should be a fast and furious pair of races today. The women's race, the first race off on to race route, followed by the men. We're heading to Hederiot Island.
We are indeed. 40.5 kilometres of racing today for the women and just 250 metres of climbing. This is a very, very flat course until we get to the end. There are 4 sprints along the way, the first one coming at the 2.5 kilometre marker. There are a couple little bumps, and when I say bumps, I really just mean bumps in the road, until we get to that 35.4 kilometre marker and we go into that final climb, the Hederiot Ascend. But it's not just one climb. It's 9 steps of climbing, and it really does create very, very close racing and great finishes. It's 700 metres to the finish once they get to that polka dot banner. Now, Guerra took the win in Qualifier 3 in March, 65 minutes and 1 second. McCarthy took the win when we were here in April, 69 minutes and 22. It could be a very fast race. Could be a very steady tactical race until we get to the end. We are just going to have to wait and see.
And it's all going to depend on our amazing riders who'll be taking to the race route here today. Category 6, right the way through to Category 1, all on the same route with the same terrain. Prize list for each of our categories, and it's all individual prizes here in our qualifiers at each of those checkpoints for the climb, for the sprints, and of course for the climb and sprints overall. But there is a real prize to be gained at the end because you can take 3 in 1 on that finish, because it's going to be likely that the winner of the climbing checkpoint is going to be our winner of the race overall. But don't bank on it, because there
Don't
have
bank
been
on it.
positions changed in the last few hundred meters. But potentially you could take the checkpoint, the climbs competition, and the race win if you get your tactics and your timing right. Who's going to be focusing on the sprints? Who will be focusing on the climbs? Who's going to be looking for the overall, and who is just looking to see if they can survive the day's racing out in Abu Dhabi in the UAE, heading in and out and across from town into Hederiot Island, the fantastic centre of cycling in Abu Dhabi. Now, first riders to go experience the racing today will be our Category 6 riders, with our team starting to be represented by a number of riders here today. Some really strong race fields, and good to see the riders making sure not only that they get in their 2 qualifying rides to make sure they're part of a team, because the team competition kicks off in earnest each and every month in our finals, where the teams, 7 teams available, 17 prizes available for the riders to collect. However, you need to have had 2 qualifying rides in during the month to be able to be part of a team. We are into the last 15 seconds of countdown now as we get ready to race. Qualifier race number 3. This will see our riders getting their potentially second, if not their third ride of October in. It's time to go racing on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club.
Well, out of the pen go Category 6. Now, we've got 191 women on the start sheets today. Great to see that we really are staying around that very, very close to 200 mark, but we've never been over yet. In Category 6, 32 riders on the start sheets, and, some great riders in there as well. Now, Jaskalainen is in the mix. She took second last week. Rosura Hageland came into the Sunday Race Club and put in a great ride. In fact, we had 2 really great rides off of new riders to the Sunday Race Club last week. Hageland taking third. Liz Smithson, she's been here a significant amount of time and continues to race the Sunday. She took 4th place, and another new rider, Shanna Martinuski, took 5th. That's fabulous to see. Jacqueline Almeida is the rider on our screen, and oh my goodness, it's an empty pain cave.
Jacqueline, are you getting ready to move out? It is Brazil, where Jacqueline Almeida is at the moment, and gotta say, all power to everybody who is racing in Brazil. It's not all that long ago, only about 6 hours ago, that I was saying goodbye to the team at the Rio de Janeiro Olympic track, because been putting worse to the action to the Paralympic track cycling World Championships overnight in the in continental Europe, where we are, and that is, of course, for them, it's their daytime. But now it's daytime here, it's nighttime there, and Almeida with a absolutely empty paint cave. I'm not sure where it's all gone. Let us know.
Lynn Varga is the rider on the front of the Category 6 race at the moment, and she's pushing on. Lopez in 2, Kirchner in 3, Anta Demise in 4, another newer rider to the Sunday race. But, it's fabulous. We continue to see new riders on the Sunday race car week in, week out. And now I'm just going to go back to something Matt said at the beginning. Melissa Scriven is on our screen, so we might wait a small while and just wave to Melissa.
Indeed. Oh, here we go.
Oh, there you go. She's got a map of Scotland for you.
Indeed, Alba.
Oh, she's amazing. I absolutely love it. Look at that. Just to show you where Scotland is and where she is located.
And I'm loving the double-sided nature of this. This looks to me like a hand-drawn whiteboard map by Melissa. I am a great appreciator of cartography skills. And look at that.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Thank you very much, Mel. Your cartography skills and drawing skills there are phenomenal.
I tell you something,
absolutely love it.
Mel Scriven never disappoints. Absolutely. Whether she's racing, riding, drawing, making signs, she never disappoints.
And a member of the Headband Club, of course.
She is. Well, I'm just going to go back to something you said at the start of the show, that the expectation was that the rider who took the Ascend climb won the race.
Yep.
Okay. When we were here in April,
yep,
3 women who took the Ascend climb did indeed win the race.
Yep.
3 women who took the Ascend climb didn't win the race.
Oh, so it's 50-50.
50-50. And I tell you something, in 2 of the 6 categories, the woman who took the climb didn't even finish in the top 5.
So potentially it's an all or nothing course then.
It is.
It's a Marmite course. If you know what Marmite is.
I'm not sure about being Marmite, but
you either love it or hate it. It's binary. It's one or the other.
Some people are targeting the climb. Some people are targeting the overall and take the climb on the way.
There we go. Emma with the facts and figures, Matt with the feeling and the emotion.
That's why I have a notebook and pen.
And that's why I have a heart and a head.
Ooh, there we go. Well, Angie Solorzano on your screen at the moment. She's in the mix. She's in the leading group at the moment. They're at the 2.3 kilometre marker. They're coming up to that first intermediate checkpoint. And
a real look of focus on Angie Solorzano's face. They're great to get this insight into the pain cave and just out of the saddle. Now, it is the pace tends to pick up coming around here because we're coming in towards the checkpoint, which is just around the turn here. And at the moment, as that pace starts to pick up, Solorzano nicely in the mix here, but now the stick kick starts to go. Nikki Lloyd leading this out. Lloyd on the front with a real big attack, and you can see opening the gap, but coming chasing at her. Well, it is Jessica Hamilton who's up onto the shoulder, goes over the top. Hamilton timing it to perfection there. A phenomenal sprint in, and Hamilton, well, she's back in green once again.
Wow. That is the first sprint checkpoint over for Category 6. Category 5 down on the start line at the moment. 33 riders down there waiting to go.
So our Category 5 riders, the second of our race fields to go. The Cycling District team putting in a team of 4 riders in here. So I've got to say well done to them, because it is at the start of when you really need to get those riders into team order to know who you're going to be looking at in that team. And of course, potentially start to play some of those team tactics. And this is a course where team tactics really and some team assistance are going to help. You can see our teams on your screen at the moment. The Cycling District squad putting in 4 riders in Category 5. Helia Santos, Lady Gerardo Montoya, Mariana Labano, along with Sofia Rodriguez. 3 riders from Portugal, with Montoya coming from Colombia. So a real mix. I'm not sure, because I know Brazil, the native language is well, not the native language, but the adopted language, should I say, I'll correct myself there, is Portuguese. I don't know whether in Colombia it is Spanish or Portuguese.
I have no idea. I'm sure someone will tell us. Tanya Holweiler on your screen at the moment. She took second place last week on the Sunday Race Club, but she's in the mix and could go strongly. The top three riders last week, including obviously Tanya in second, 0.9 of a second separated those three riders. Seba Al Rey was in the mix as well. Jacqueline Giuliano took fourth. Emma Sonnerson took fifth. I think this is going to be another close race today. And I think that final section, it really does lead itself to groups being able to stay together. For me, one of the riders to watch in this Category 5 race today, Natalia Idzik, it's her kind of course because those climbs, well, they're short. It may well be 4.4k in length, the final climb. But as I said, 9 steps, short, sharp climbs, recoveries. Idzik, that's where my pick is today. I tell you so, actually, Joanna Warren could go well as well. Candice Dobbins, she's on your screen at the moment. Again, one of the newer riders to the Sunday Race Club. She's come in and she's had some great success and she's been riding really strongly. Fabulous to see the rider from the USA on our screens at the moment and in the mix in Category 5.
And down in that pain cave, as you can see, focused on the screen in front, Dobbins nicely tucked in this group. The Watts at the moment in the green, that's the figure top center of the main screen. Just dropping it into the blackish, goes out into the window in the front, then rolling back in. And this is the run in as we start to come into towards the extended elevated roadway out over the water. So basically the riders having to come along here. You can see top right hand side of your screen. Then we do this straight run in. Seba Al Rey in the mix again with that wolf is just rubbing it in. I haven't got a set of kit. I need to get myself sorted, don't I? It is. It's really bright. It looks good. And Seba Al Rey really one of our strong riders, a rider who can mix it up whatever the course. And this could well be a course for Seba here today. With smart staying out of trouble and not expending energy needlessly in the running, but then going to be going really strongly, I'm sure, as we go into the climb. And that short, sharp, steppy climb, I think, is going to be the sort of terrain and the type of climb that's going to suit her.
Yes, I agree completely that it will.
Just a little bit of news as we go. In fact, I'm going to leave that just in with Brooke Samuel. Going to dive in with Brooke, who is here in the Australian national national jersey there, the green and gold on the shoulders of Brooke Samuel. Australia having a really good, and I mean really, really good para track.
Well, I agree, but also a great number of riders in the semi-finals for the Cycling Esports World Championships, where Brooke was indeed a representative of Australia.
And I think it's the Gran Fondo World Champs not also out in Australia at the moment.
It is right now, and there are a significant number of MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club riders on the road out there as well in that Gran Fondo.
Well, we'll see if they have got the ability to take away titles, to take away the prizes in the Gran Fondo as we see the Category 5 riders coming in to the sprint. Hannah Hermansson leading this out, but Idzik is on her heels at the moment. These two riders clear of the main bunch. The rest of the group are going to watch this unfold. Hermansson now just being passed by Idzik. Idzik's kick going over the top. Hermansson responds to it, but can she get on the wheels? No, she can't. It's going to be Idzik from Hermansson. I think Alves will pick up 3 points after as well. So just making their way in underneath the banner as we see the Category 4 riders on the right-hand side awaiting to start the third of our race categories, taking to the race route here in Hedariat Island. As you can see, out from the pens go the riders in red. Now, the riders up and racing, up and away. Brilliant to see a nice field with some really strong riders in the Category 4 race. As you can see, the teams up on your screen. So we have a number of riders riding for FCC or the Fen Cycle Collab. Both the FCC4 or Fem Cycle Collab 4. I suspect they are all the same team and riders potentially, but that does mean that at the moment, if they were to actually be one team, there would be 7 riders there.
I think there's some decisions to be made next week.
There certainly is, because there are 7 riders there. And next week, the maximum you can put in a team is 5. The minimum is 3.
I think.
So with 7, you're going to have to do some selection there for the team. So it's good to see so many riders in and racing. Make sure you get those teams sorted and registered, because, of course, 7 prizes in each of our race categories. As we see Gina De Grazia on the bike in the pancake, the medals in front, that motivation there, the screen just directly in front of her at the moment. And she's soon to see herself pop up on the big screen in front. So the big screen is the show. We've got the
Little screen being the race.
Being the race. So good morning,
She could
Gina.
wave to herself.
Gina could. That now, it's bad enough me waving at all of our riders, saluting, high-fiving, whatever they do to the camera, but doing it to yourself on camera, that would be even more crazy.
It was just really good fun. But Gina De Grazia right in the mix. Laura Takanis. In fact, De Grazia comes to the front on the boardwalk now at the 1 kilometre marker in the Category 4 race. 30 riders on the start sheets today. Wazowska took the win last week. Corrales took second. Restrepo took third. 4th place, Camilla Salgado. She's not on my start sheets today, but Palma Mongeli, well, there she is on our screens at the moment. She definitely is on the start sheets today.
Yeah, Palma Mongeli, one of those riders that we've seen in action in the semi-finals of the UCI World Championships, looking resplendent in a new jersey by the look of it there on the screens. And Palma, one of our real regulars on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club, one of our real fast riders. I think today, definitely another race route that suits Palmer. Smart riders today, featuring a lot on our cameras, who are able to make sure that they don't go too early, too hard, sitting in the group, use their energy wisely. There seems to be a bit of a selection going on. Lots of smart riders on camera today.
Well, yes. And
not just sartorially smart, intellectually smart.
Okay, interesting. Tactically smart.
Tactically astute.
With nous. There's a word for people to look up.
Nous, indeed, that is a word to look up. Speaking of looking up, I did indeed look up the language, but I'm going to go across first of all to our pancake, talking of astute riders.
Yeah, because Rebecca Johnson is on the screen at the moment. This is definitely a course for her. She's 5th place she took last week. She was 11 seconds down. This one, again, a climb at the end, and those climbs really suit Rebecca Johnson. Now, today, I understand Rebecca is off show jumping this afternoon on her horse.
Oh, the equine adventures of Rebecca Johnson continue.
I know. Sunday Race Club in the morning on a Sunday for Rebecca. Horse riding competitions in the afternoon. Sometimes it's doubles cross country. Sometimes it's 3-day stuff. Today, it's show jumping. The talents of our Sunday Race Club riders are phenomenal.
If you are competing in something other than cycling, please do get in touch with @biking_Emma. Send her a video, and Emma, I'm sure, will probably be very, very quick. And at the same time, give Emma permission to share it around the entire world on the internet, because I'm sure Emma will be doing that if that is the case. Now, we're going to jump in with one of our fantastic sprinters here on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club, Karen Machado de Pavia. Very quickly out the saddle here. You can see resplendent in a Tour de France polka dot jersey, but at the moment it's the climbs that she's going for. She is the red and white dots, the red headband, the red jersey. De Pavia, though, in trouble here because Corrales and Kawazewska have gone over the top. She led that out. And maybe if we're going to see these sprints, the riders maybe just needing to wait that little bit longer, because this is such a fast sprint.
Well, again, and another rider fairly new to the Sunday Race Club. This is her 7th participation in the Sunday Race Club, and she's already had 2 third places. So she really does know how to put herself in the mix.
She certainly does. Now, heading off into the mix of riders out on course are going to be the Category 3 riders. Category 3 riders, there's some big squads out there as they head out on to the race route, heading out from our race pens. Here you can see Abu Dhabi in the distance. Now, when we come to our teams, a number of teams putting in 3 riders. The Fenn Cycle Club once again are doing that. The team of Yao, Miller and Sioka. The team of Grit have also got 3 riders already down to their team. That is going to be Hadlock along with Daniels and Desenia. And the Riot Squad looking to cause a riot below her, along with McKay. And I nearly said I predict a riot, but Kaiser Chief song titles is not the aim of the day. The aim of the day is to get our riders up and away. The teams, I really like it if you are in a team, get your team names in, get your riders in. It really is good. I think it's one of the really important things about cycle sport and one of the really good things about racing is that team spirit and racing as a team.
Oh, the community is just absolutely essential. And I think particularly for cycling esports, because it can be a very lonely and solitary, activity. If you don't have that team around you, or Julie Montgomery, it's not lonely and solitary for her. She's got a big team around her, and she's part and parcel of, I'm going to call it the Swedish mafia of female cycling.
Indeed, and Julie Montgomery, one of our regular star performers when it comes to Category 3. Definitely another race route for her today. I think we're going to see her in action across a lot of the sprints as well as onto the climb. She's not a rider to sit back when it comes to a segment or a sprint, but she's also a rider who'll want to be there in at the finish.
Yeah, she took 9th place last week, 17 seconds back, and it was really close actually in Category 3. Patty Keinberger took the win, Milane Proust took second, and Anna Russell took third. None of those riders are in the mix today. Angel Hadlock took 4th place, Julia Walkenhurst took 5th. They are both here, but it's very, very close in the Category 3 race. 30 seconds covered pretty much the top 13, 14 riders last week. A lower number, I think, of riders here today in Category 3 than we saw last week, but it doesn't mean it's going to be any less close.
Definitely not now in with one of our Filipino stars here is Kim Bonilla. But Kim Bonilla, who really showed us just how strong she is in the MyWhoosh Stage Race Championships in the summer. And another of those riders who does a number of different disciplines, riding strongly on the road. A phenomenal sprint, but a good climber as well. I think for me, Bonilla's kick and sprint really, that snap is something. As she develops as a rider, she's got to be really careful not to lose that because it's a fearsome weapon if you've got that to be able to go. And it's not just top speed, it's that spring, it's that
kick.
snap, it's that
kick.
It's a real explosion of power, and it's great to see now as we go into a Warsaw sprint segment already, starting to see this being wound up before we go into our right-hand turn here. The riders in and racing, once Category 3 have gone through, we'll be doing a roundup of the sprint segment winners across Category 6 to Category 3, but we'll get our Category 3 riders in first of all. We're in with Julia Montgomery. Going to the front too early means you're going to be expending energy too soon. Take it too easy, you're going to be off the back. You're not going to be able to make your way to the front. Being able to position yourself in this bunch, in this group, absolutely critical. Coming in to the right-hand turn here, a real arrowhead formation. The inside line, the shortest line around the corner at the moment, but then we're onto the elevated walkway. One of the places where, when Emma was out at the
I loved it.
MyWhoosh UCI World Championships, this was one of the spots that there was a definite selfie moment from Emma out there.
I've watched this so many times, and it's absolutely fabulous. And it's just like this in real life. Now, Lopez is the rider pushing on here. McKay is in the mix, so is Miller, but Desenia is the rider on the front. Helen McKay coming fast and furious from behind. Takes the sprint jersey. Look at that. That was a fast move at the finale.
So McKay getting the timing right, coming in across at the front of the race. Let's go from the last riders. McKay taking away top spot in Category 3 with Desenia in second, Miller in third, Hyde in fourth, and Essler in fifth.
Yes. Now, let's just take a little look a little bit further back. Diana Corrales led through Category 4, Karwazuska in 2, De Pavia in 3, Kong in 4, and Manfrom picking up 1 point in 5.
In Category 5, it was Natalia Idzik taking away top spot from Hannah Manson, Adrielle Alves, Joanna Warren, and Martina Erevek rounding out the top 5.
And Category 6, Jessica Hamilton took 5 points. Nikki Lloyd coming through for 4. Anta Denise taking 3 points. Jacqueline Almeida taking 2. And Bridget Bremner, well, she rounded that out and picked up 1 point in that first effort. 3 more sprint checkpoints to go. The Hederiot Wonders sprint coming at the 17.7 kilometre mark.
And in between sprint 1 and sprint number 2, we've got the big bridge that takes you from the Abu Dhabi town centre, city centre, to Hederiot Island and back, or in the case of our riders,
they go
from the
out.
island to the mainland and back out again. Georgia Perry on the attack.
Yeah, she is indeed. She's gone through the sprint. She just kept going. A good, strong pace on the front there. And Perry, well, I did wonder whether anybody would do this, because there's a tendency to, when you look at the course profile, to go, oh, steady state, sit in the bunch, take it to 35.4, and then we race the final 4.5K. But, well, Georgia Perry, you get Brave Rider of the Day. Attack, let's go, keep the pace high, do the unexpected.
Is there such a thing as unexpected in cycling? Because there's so many scenarios. I guess there's always an infinite variation of tactics, but going for an attack over the top of the sprint, definitely an option.
The challenge here, though, unfortunately, and what we're seeing with Perry, she's putting in a really strong pace on the front, but she's a solo rider, and this is the type of course where a pack and the draft really helps. Now, at the 7.3 kilometre marker, they're coming up onto that bridge, Category 4.
This is a real big climb, even though it doesn't look it. When you look at the course profile, we're now seeing riders coming in both directions, and at the moment we are heading across the bridge in that Category 4 main bunch, going up on to the climb at the moment. And I tell you something, one of the real key things that we see here when the riders are out on that race route is that when you're in the group here, we are seeing riders in 1s and 2s going off the back of the group. 1 or 2 riders being distanced as you go up over the top of the climb, dropping down the other side. And then you've got to really pick that pace up as you push on, coming in the opposite direction down the slopes each time. It's essential to be in the mix. So at the moment, Category 4 heading across to the city centre. You can see the amazing cityscape in front of the riders as the skyscrapers point skywards up to the clouds. A rarity above Abu Dhabi, it has to be said.
What clouds?
Above the city, yes, indeed, it definitely is. However, the riders at the moment going up onto the summit of this bridge. This bridge, I think, actually, personally, is hard enough to merit a climb segment on its own.
Well, yes, definitely.
I would put it in across 2, so have it on both directions. So you have it coming, so you have to go right the way through.
Well, Category 6 at the 13.4 kilometre marker. They're back over the bridge in the other direction, and it's looking like we've got a leading group now of 8 riders in this Category 6 race. The pace is, well, steady at the moment. Smithson, Hageland, Lopez, Bremner, all in the group, and everybody at the moment looks like they want the draft.
The place to be is in the draft.
Nikki Lloyd is in there as well. Jacqueline Almeida is in there. And a very, very steady pace behind Limbaga and Jaskalainen.
Now, just seeing Category 6 actually coming up to Wolfies. We mentioned Wolfies when we did the opening of the show with Seba's Jersey and the Colnago World there. Some very, very nice bikes in that shop. If you do get the chance to go, the Wolfies are a fantastic place to visit.
Well, Category 2, the next category away. 36 riders on the start sheets and a huge list of teams.
There is, and there's a huge amount of core riders here. There are technically 2 core squads represented here, but the core team have got what is 7 riders on the start list. So again, their team that are in there. Now, I have to say, I really like it when the riders all bunch up in what their team is, rather than being core 1, core 2, when we go into the qualifying races. But of course, they then, as you say, Emma, have to make that decision.
Yeah.
The decision to be made at the end of this race will be who will be in which core squad. Will it be a core win for Category 2, our penultimate race category, taking to a race start? Big representation from the core squad, also with the FCC United Cadence squad, the FM Cycle Collab squad, and the Riot team, all putting in teams of 3 or more riders already. United Cadence with Hag, Egg and Denton. Fem Cycle Club with Wagner, Shanks and Thompson. Riot with Wiseman, Nyquist, Hebersmith and Reese. The core squad, Gonzalez Rua, Simmers, McLeod, Caramani, Kuma, Bassoni and Giovanni. A real who's who.
Yes, it is a real who. I'm going to give a bit of a call out. So we've got 36 riders on the start sheets. This is a huge race field today in Category 2. Sopers took the win last week. She's here. Giovanni took second. She's here. Engstrom took third. She's here. Emily Nyquist, she had a cracking race last week as well. She's here. She's on our screens right at the moment, part and parcel of those teams that we have just gone through. The Riot squad is Emily Nyquist. Now, Kasani took fourth and Denton took fifth last week. Nyquist could go well today. It's her type of course, short, sharp and punchy, and we know she's got a great kick on her, Emily Nyquist. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays out. Now, I'm going to put a call out to two riders. Holly Bergin isn't on the start sheets. Well, she's on the start sheets, but she's not in the race today.
Oh.
She's come down with the dreaded lurgy.
Oh, she's got the dreaded lurgy that starts with C and ends with Ovid by any chance?
Yes, she has indeed.
Oh, indeed. Holly, be smart.
Yes,
take your time recovering. Make sure that you're ready to race before you come back to race. We'd love to see you racing, but make sure you're fully recovered because otherwise you'll set yourself back and we want to see you on full form.
Well, Rhiannon Denton on your screen at the moment, and good to see her part and parcel of Nick's taking that fifth place last week. And again, she could well be in the mix today.
I have Rhiannon Denton. I do say this regularly about Rhiannon Denton, but I have Rhiannon Denton down for the win today.
Do you?
I do.
Ooh,
I don't.
No pressure.
No pressure, Rhiannon. Loads of pressure, Rhiannon. Absolutely, loads of expectation. I'm banking on you here.
Well, let's take a look and we will see how it plays out in the next hour or so. The other rider I wanted to give a call out to today is Kate McLeod. She had a nasty little tumble at the Gravel World Champs last week.
Yes.
I'll tell you, Kate, the photos were phenomenal, but hoping you are not in too much pain after that and everything is going okay.
Well, it must be hot in Scotland at the moment because Heather Shanks has issued the sleeves. That's non-UCI regulation, you know that, Jersey.
Right, for esports?
Cycling, yeah, well, there isn't... Technically, I don't know whether for cycling esports, the Jersey
regulations of the UCI apply.
In theory, they do, but I don't think there's a specific regulation
yet. Do the
yet.
socks regulations apply as well?
Technically, the socks and the Jersey regulations, the sleeve must be to half arm length between your elbow and the shoulder, a bit like the socks.
Well, Heather Shanks, come on, get your act together. UCI regulation.
Well, she probably knows them inside. She probably knows it inside out better than I do in terms of cycling esports. You're the cycling esports expert.
Well, there you go. Technical regulations.
Yeah.
How many technical regulations have I read? A lot.
Thousands.
I probably read more than most racers.
I would hope that you have in your role as commentator as well. I bet you haven't read as many as I have because I'm a bit geeky like that, I have to admit. I am, indeed. I can tell you the exact height of the socks. I can tell you the aero fairings and what you can do, the specification.
Can you tell me how many different moves there are in indoor cycling? Well, Sophie
200
Giovanni,
something or other, I think
Gonzalez Rua, Shanks and Gothlander on your
move.
Screen at the moment. They are indeed on the move because they're coming into the first sprint at the moment and the push is on. Shanks is up and out the saddle. Oh, this is a big move. Gonzalez Rua is here as well. Gonzalez Rua is on the front, but now Gothlander is coming to the fore. There's still 200 metres to go. Gonzalez Rua now kicks. Gothlander responds. These two going head to head over the bridge at the moment. Kuma off the front though. It's Kuma, Gonzalez Rua. I've just mixed Gonzalez Rua and Gothlander's name together, but Gothlander has gone over the top. She's going to take it. Jennifer, it would be an absolutely amazing rider if you mixed Dorothy Gonzalez Rua and Jennifer Gothlander. Imagine the kick on that. I'd go that 20 watts per kilo for that rider, but it's Jennifer Gothlander taking the sprint that time.
So our riders up and away in all but the Category 1 race, and the Category 1 riders are down there ready to go. We have some real big teams here. Ablock International with Korchinski, Hermansen, Holcroft, McCarthy and Soderstrom. The FCC Endorphins, Lethbridge, Van der Vliet, Moroz, Vittori and Susnik. Supernova with Cowan Field and Gorea. They're going to be followed on to the race route by Sweat Sensations, Guerra, Fur and Mayer, and the breakaways Van Hove, Alba, Gallegos, and Bjarhead. All those teams with 3 or more riders in their race field representation. The 2 teams with the biggest representation, Ablock International and the Fem Cycle Club, with 5 riders each.
I'm just laughing and giggling because Category 1 have come out of the start pen in a relaxed and informal manner. Currently, Nicole Mayer, Zone 2. Now, I
relaxed and informal. What?
It's a nice steady state start, and I'm sure Nicole Mayer really appreciates it.
You're making me think that they're sort of riding in baggy shorts and flip flops.
No,
informal.
no, they're not. But it is a steady state start today, coming out of the pen. There's no fast and furious here. This is a 40.5-kilometre race, and you know, going fast out of the pen at the start, who needs that when you can get up to 38 kilometres an hour at zone 2 in the first 500 metres? Nice move. The jet skis, can I just make a call out for the jet skis? Because that is such a cool addition. I am loving that, keeping the riders company as they head out over the boardwalk onto the water. But Field, Bjarhead, Tomasi, Kalman, all in the mix. Gabby Guerra is on your screen at the moment. Now,
can I just put a quick call out? Gabby, I'm going to dive in the middle. Gabby, can you jet ski? Let us know. Well, carry on.
Guerra taking second place last week to Kate McCarthy from Ablock International. Tomasi taking third. Kolczynski fourth and Fua fifth. Fua is indeed Guerra's teammate, and they will be eyeing up the final next week on the Jebel Hafid.
Oh,
we're going back to a traditional Sunday Race Club finale. Though I have to say, Rebecca Johnson did message me and say that there would be no horse riding next Sunday after the Jebel Hafid race.
That's interesting. That's interesting that she's chosen to do that. Now, one rider who will be looking forward to that Jebel Hafid stage and that big climb, Francesca Tomasi. Will it be Tomasi's day at the top of the Hafid? We'll have to find out. But today also, I think with that climb at the end, it's definitely going to play into Tomasi's hands. For me, for Francesca Tomasi, it just depends on how active she is and whether she can be patient and just sit and wait. Because although even if you're a great climber, you're looking forward to the climbs, you can expend a lot of energy needlessly coming into before you get to that climb. And although you don't think it takes its toll, you're going to do that recovery, you've just got to give yourself, the riders are such a world-class group that you're racing against here, that you need to have everything to your advantage.
Yeah.
And if you chase moves like this at the front of the race, you're going to burn energy.
Well, I have to say, for a lot of these riders, they go into that 34.4 kilometre marker. Guerra and McCarthy are just going to dial it. Guerra's taken a win here. McCarthy's taken wins here. It's the type of finale that suits those riders down to the ground. Why would you hand it to them on a plate? Why would you zone 1, zone 2 to the 35.4 kilometre marker and then know by the time you get to the finish, one of the other riders is going to take the win because they can just absolutely nail the final climb. And the riders in this Category 1 race, there's going to be conversations out there. I hope there's conversations out there about how do we beat McCarthy and Guerra on a course like this? What do we need to do? Right, let's start sending riders down the road. Let's make it spicy from the beginning and really let's give it a go. Because if we are going to zone 1, zone 2 from the start pen to the 34 kilometre marker, you're giving it to those 2 riders.
Potentially you are. Now let's see if anybody's going to attack over the top of the sprint here, and will we see some of those tactics being put into play, particularly by the teams who are not represented by McCarthy and Guerra on your screens. The pace picking up, the sprint is really starting to unfold. Tidholm at the moment leading through ahead of Svarstrom, maybe just nicking that on the line. It came down to that very final kick on the way through. That was very close indeed. We're going to take a look at those results. Let's see who takes it as they come in and through the line. It was super close coming over the Derrick sprint. Who is the rider up at the top?
Oh, Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Because my screen says something different.
No,
But
it doesn't. It's
I
just
now
updated.
just updated. Anna Svardström leads them through in Category 1. Nice move. Jennifer Goslander led through in Category 2. Helen McKay, fast time, Category 3. In fact, the fastest time to that point in the race. Diana Corrales led through Category 4. Natalia Idzik led through Category 5. And Jessica Hamilton, we saw her right at the start of the show, leading through Category 6. And you can see which of the race fields had the fastest start, which had the steadiest start by just looking at that. And Category 3, well, they were the quickest out of the mark. But take a look at this. Category 1, we are continuing the push here, and it's Nicole Mayer on the front of the group at the moment. Francesca Tomasi is there with Kristen Kulczynski, and Bridget Kiddle, there you can go. The fan is blowing, and she's going to need it to start. And one thing I love about Bridget Kiddle's Pain Cave, there's always a map on the wall.
Yes.
The map on the wall of the course she's on, just so she can take a little look. And I bet there's notes on it as well.
I'm sure there are. Bridget, do get in touch with @biking_Emma and let her know if you do have notes on the side of yours. The printed maps that we have copies of all have notations and scribbles across the top. If you're able to read them, I'll tell you something, you're doing really, really well, because they get more and more untidy as the course of the show goes on, and we get more and more excited, and as things get frantic. Great sprint. I'm going to go back to that sprint there now just briefly, because taking away 5th place for Category 1 was Francesca Tomasi, taking 1 point. Taking 4th place was Matilda Tullyfield, taking 2 points. Bridget Kiddle took away 3rd place and 3 points. But the two riders on the front, Tidholm and Svardström, Tidholm led that until the very final few meters as she came in through. The time gap that separates Joanna Tidholm, who eventually took 2nd, from Anna Svardström is indeed tiny. It's 0.3031, so 0.03 of a second separating them.
Well, Alexandra Knowles and Seba Al Ray on your screen at the moment in Category 5. They're at the 19.1 kilometre marker. They're through the Hedera Wonders. So, yes, you can buy my art. Oh, I love it, Alexandra Knowles. You are a star.
Alexandra, it does indeed take commission, so do get in touch with Alexandra. I think I'm going to be in touch with Alexandra very, very shortly. Thank you very much for the message. Definitely be in there, and don't forget, of course, it really, for me, what it says, a lot here. Alexandra Knowles on the attack, and we shouldn't take away from the fact that Alexandra Knowles
is chasing
and Seba Al Ray are both phenomenal riders and are on the attack. They've both done really well over the last few weeks, actually.
Yeah.
Knowles really, I think, has come to the fore in the last few weeks, whereas Al Ray has been there maybe just that little bit longer at the top of the game.
I think Al Ray is getting stronger as well, and Knowles and Al Ray off the front of the Category 5 pack at the moment, but Ervek and Santos bringing the group back.
So the two riders on your screens putting the cat amongst the pigeon at the moment, so definitely shaking things up and making life hard for the rest. And I think, for me, one of the great things is that we see riders progressing and moving forwards. And the more that happens, the stronger everybody gets. So whilst at the time you might be going, oh no, somebody's gone on the attack just at the wrong moment, my legs are absolutely screaming. Actually, it's going to make you stronger. It's going to be improving your riding. And that's what we see in the Sunday Race Club. Yep. We see rider after rider getting stronger.
Well, at that second sprint checkpoint, the Hedera Wonders sprint that came at the 17.7 kilometre marker, Amy Loxley led through Category 5. Natalia Idzik was in second. Alves, Knowles and Giraldo. So Seba Al Ray and Alexandra Knowles pushing on after that checkpoint. In Category 6, and we're just dropping in with them now as they come into the third sprint. At the second sprint, Liz Smithson picked up the 5 points, which is an interesting move. Nikki Lloyd picked up 4. That's 2 second places for Nikki Lloyd, and that gives her the green sprint skin suit competition overall at the moment. So she's going to want to be in the mix. Bridget Bremner took 3, Almeida took 2, and indeed Limbaga took 1, which means Hamilton, who took the first checkpoint, is not in the leading group.
Ooh.
So Nikki Lloyd at the moment in that green skin suit, and her key competition, well, that key competition is indeed Liz Smithson. Now, the two Scottish riders on your screens at the moment. Shanks in Category 2, Scriven in Category 6.
Telling us where they are on the map.
I know, it's great, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm here. She's there.
Yes. Heather and Mel, M&H.
Hey, look at that.
And you can
Heather
see by
Shanks
train
is
and by
trying to
car.
read the map. I love
Indeed.
that.
So by car, with the distances. Mel, can you? I've got. I might have a little task for you. I might need you to work out exactly the same thing, but this time next week. Your homework for next week, from a place in France called Angoulême, all the way to
Scotland.
No, all the way to Hulst in the Netherlands.
Why?
Because that's where the Cyclocross World Championships are, and I'm going to have to do some logistical planning
Mel,
next
you're
week.
not his logistics planner. And
no,
Heather,
but I would love to see it on a map.
And Heather, I know, Mel, it's terrible. But I'm loving the fact that we've got our two Scottish riders on the screen at the moment together. Different categories, doesn't matter. They're just located in a fabulous country.
It's a fantastic part of the world. It's the west coast of Scotland. It is one of my favourite places to visit.
And it looks so cool on a map.
And it is a very cool part of the world to see on a map. So if you are into your cartography, do have a look. The riders at the moment, though, in Category 1 have no time to be spending time gazing at contour lines and terrains and map legends, because at the moment they're looking to see what they can do here. They're up against a real legend of cycling esports in the shape of McCarthy, who has shown that she's come in and really does dominate the racing at the moment. And at the moment, really has to be hot favourite when we come to the World Championships. They're onto the climb. Chance for an attack against the world champion, or is the world champion going to go for this?
We've already got one or two riders out the back of the Category 1 race having a steadier race, but at the moment, this is the leading group in Category 1. Kalman, Miros, Van Shaw, all picking up the pace. It's Catherine Fuhr leading the charge. Lisa Hermansen is there, so is Nelly Larson. And the push is on here on the bridge, stretched slightly on the group, but only slightly. They're a very, very well-matched group, I tell you. Now, 16 of the 22 women who will be on stage in Abu Dhabi on the 15th of November are in this race today. And it's fabulous to see week in, week out on the Sunday Race Club. You can follow until that World Championships final the fortunes and riding and racing of those World Championship qualifiers. It's going to be absolutely brilliant.
So the riders at the moment onto this climb, just going over the top of that group, not breaking up. We're just taking a little bit of a looking at some of our riders out on the course. It is indeed our Brazilian riders. So Brazil, a real hotbed of cycling. From Sao Paulo, where we saw the Mountain Bike Eliminator World Cup coming on earlier on this year. It is also where the current Paracycling World
I know, Gabby's been watching it. She put something out on her social media feed.
Did she indeed? Well, good. Thank you very much, Gabby. And loads of people watching the feed there. I'm sure Gabby has been watching in the Portuguese version.
She has.
Rather than the English version. So I'm putting the words to action in the English version. Gabby, of course, a fluent Portuguese speaker, will be watching the Portuguese shows as well. They've also got a new velodrome being built in Sao Paulo as well. So lots of opportunities. If you are in Brazil, don't forget, get out and ride it, the track. It's very different to riding on cycling esports. But I tell you something, if you can ride a bike, you ride a bike.
Well, De Pavia in the leading group in that Category 4 race. Anna Svanström in that green jersey, green skin suit really, in the Category 1 race, the leading group here now at the 8.8 kilometre marker. They've gone over the bridge one way and down the other side. They're now going to do a little turnaround, and then they're going to go up and over it and back on to Herdaria Island.
Indeed, a turnaround, as we were saying in the UK, a roundabout.
The 16 riders in this group who could well do this bridge in real life when they get there in November.
I think you've probably got enough time before our next set of riders hit the next segment. Go on,
so
go for it, 16.
Who is here today? Kristen Kulczynski, Lisa Hermansen, Maria Holdcroft, Kate McCarthy, Mika Soderstrom, Bridget Kiddle, Francesca Tomasi, Mina Koinstinen, Tilly Field, Gabby Guerra, Camilla Ulberg, Elise Gallegos, Amelia Velt, Anna Svanström, Bridget Walensky and Johanna Tidholm will all be in Abu Dhabi on the 15th of November on stage.
And those riders in no particular order. In fact, they're actually in our formatted start sheets order that follows our commentary guy that we use for that we put together for commentating each and every week. So there's no particular order to
Nope.
those riders in there in
Other
terms
than
of
how they're
favourites.
printed on the sheet in front of
Other
me.
than the selection that data sorted it when I was busy doing that earlier on in the week in the full speed events offices, the riders up and away across all 6 of our categories on qualifier race number 3 in October. Some amazing riders in each and every one of our race categories taking to a race start. The world's best here as well. Each and every week, the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club bringing you verified rides across all of our race categories. We are bringing you racing and prize money that comes out to the riders across all of our race categories. It's equal in the men's and women's races. We have coverage each and every week of every single Sunday Race Club, as well, of course, as those UCI World Championships. The semi-finals are on the YouTube channel and on Twitch TV. Don't forget to make sure you subscribe to one or the other to be notified whenever we go live. Whilst you're online, don't forget, of course, that you can set that date in your electronic diary or calendar for the World Championships, where you're going to see our riders in action and where I'm sure all of our riders on screen aspire to be. 3 of our German riders here, Tanja Hohweiler, Lee-Sophie Rammert, and Christine Schneider. Schneider coming stronger. Lee-Sophie Rammert there, just giving us a wave as well. Schneider just very much looking forward, I'm sure, to when they start to get spicy again as we go into those sprints. Just having to sit in here, it's a skill to be here. Lee-Sophie Rammert, definitely a rider who's got the full toolbox of skills, can sprint and can climb. And Tanja Hohweiler really coming into some phenomenal form at the moment, and really, I think, got to be a strong favourite today as we go on to the climb, going up on to the ascent. So for me, I think it's going to be really, really key. Get yourselves out onto a race route, get yourselves to the climb, and then those 3 riders could well be our riders at the top as we go across onto the bridges.
Look at this. Nice big move from Francesca Tomasi at the moment. And Tomasi, for me, you talked earlier on about her getting to that final climb and it really being of benefit to her, but she's actually gone early on one of the bridges today. It's a long transition, though, before we move through the rest of any form of climbing on this course. But Tomasi, she's up. She's on a mission.
And she's 7 seconds, now 8 seconds clear of that main group behind. Big kick up over the top. And it's a great way, if you're a climber and you know that you want to go well on that final climb, you may well be thinking, do you know what? I actually need to be really, really thinking about how hard I go there. And to do that, I need to weight these legs up, because if you're just sitting in that group, you're going to be at a lower level potentially the whole way around. You're not going to have activated everything. You're not going to have got the engine fired up to full speed.
Well, the question is this an activation for Tomasi, or is this intention? Because she's now got 8 seconds. Gallegos has come to the front of the pack and, she's come off the power. And in fact, I saw McCarthy do a very similar thing. Tomasi, though, for me, she's got to now hold around 5.5 watts per kilo. She's got a time trial her way to the base of the climb at a really strong pace. She's up at the top of the screen. Bassoni is there, so is Giovanni. You can see the riders pushing on.
3 riders are making their way down here as they go down on the way through. Sophie Giovanni on the bottom of your screen there, making the way through. The riders Tomasi and Bassoni, both representing Italy, just nicely tucked into this group. And this part of the course where you actually see the riders coming past the trees, this is so representative in real life. As you actually ride, if you go to Hederiot Island, you will love these sections where the trees are alongside, because if the wind is blowing across in off the sea and into the island, then these are fantastic shelters. And it does mean that when the trees are there, you can get a little bit of assistance and just be out of the wind. Now, just taking a little bit of a look down here, Tomasi down the road, Leinen and Tidholm just firing off down the road here as well. And for me, this is really smart tactics, just trying to shake things up. They've not let Tomasi go too far. And to go back to your point of, is this an intent? She's holding 4.5 watts per kilo. The problem
it's not enough.
Tomasi is, if she holds 4.5 and the bunch holds 4, the bunch will still get her because
They
there's
will,
so
because of
many
the draft
riders.
and
Yeah.
because there's so many riders. Now, when we see a concerted attack that goes away from the Category 1 race, you've got to be around 5.5 watts per kilo to be able to stay clear of them.
And you're going to need to put in a much bigger effort to go clear in the first place,
But
to
like you
break
say,
clear from that group.
the question we had, wasn't it? Was it activation or was it intention? Perhaps it was intention to stir the pot a little and to create a little bit of response from the group. And you never know what could happen, because Tomasi, part and parcel of that Fem Collabs Endorphins squad, there's also the Fem Cycling Collab group itself. So amongst those, there's a good number of riders in here. And what we might see is those two teams coming together to put attack after attack after attack in, because teamwork may well be the answer to taking Kate McCarthy off the top spot of the Sunday Race Club.
And I think equally, for every time that we talk about McCarthy in the top spot, we could also almost paraphrase into that, or to phrase into that, the rider in second place, which is Gabby Guerra, because
Yep.
they're almost the two riders clear and right up there. Now, three of our riders from the Philippines in the pain cave on our screens. German Predo at the bottom, Gina De Grassi in the middle, and Kim Vanilla at the top. And you know what? But all three riders can do? They can all sprint really well. Really, really strong riders. Just seeing Gina De Grazia there, just taking that little bit of a break, sitting up, using the opportunity just to make sure she's all ready to go. German Predo just making sure getting the recovery in. Vanilla holding in the wheels here. There's some real talented riders. German Predo, very experienced rider, very much a strong rider. But as you see the riders in action, we're going straight into the action, because at the moment of the 23.2k marker, we are coming in to the octopus loop sprint. You can see why it's the octopus loop, because you can see weaving its way through between, it's almost octopus tentacle like the track that's separated from our riders and the sprint. So making the way around this long sweeping left hand turn, it is the category 3 riders that are going to be coming in to the next sprint, the octopus loop sprint. McKay taking the last sprint that we've just had. This is going to be really key here. She kicks on. Kim Vanilla now working her way into this group. Is Vanilla going to be able to take this sprint out? Are we going to see McKay getting the time in right? Is Desegna going to be there potentially? Gemriel also going up and contesting those sprints here. The wind-up is going on the front here at the moment. It's Miller from McKay. McKay in the green, coming up on the heels of Miller, goes over the top, timing to that to perfection. I think that is going to go to Miller, though, just, in fact, to go through separated by 0.23 of a second, 0.23 of a second, separating the two riders. Miller in 1, McKay in 2, Desegna in 3, Montgomery in 4, and Ariel in 5. Miller and McKay, what a battle between those two, and separated by, literally 200ths of a second.
I know,
it's
it's amazing, isn't it? And we keep saying, Category 3, really close racing, and they just keep playing it out every single time. Well, at the 24-kilometre marker, 17 riders in that leading group in Category 3.
We're going to jump in with Category 2, who are currently at the 18-kilometre marker in the green jersey as our sprint leader, Jennifer Gosselander. And I think for me, this is a course where Gosselander can target both the green sprint jersey and the sprint segments and the overall, because if ever there was a climb finish suited to Gosselander's sprint skills uphill, it is today. Definitely a rider who can be right in the mix and potentially take away that win.
Yeah, I agree completely. And she may well be having this as a target today. Hayley Simmons in the mix. Emily Nyquist is there. Giovanni is in the mix. Engstrom's riding really strongly at the moment as well. Jenny Eck is the rider dialing it on the front at the moment, though. The next sprint checkpoint coming at the kilometre marker. Well, that's where it starts. It finishes at the 24-kilometre marker. If you are looking for that green banner, I say start. We used to have starts. We don't really have starts anymore to sprints. It's across the checkpoint. So first through the line, not, well,
It's not a segment anymore.
it's not really a segment, is it? It's a checkpoint that you get
It has
to.
been for a while, but in fairness, as a percentage of the time and the number of races that we've called on MyWhoosh and on Cycling Esports, segments have been a thing for a lot longer than we've had checkpoints. So,
Well, that's true.
so you can be forgiven in
Well,
terms of
can I
percentages.
just
It's
say,
still a long way to go.
this is another rider I had a heads up on today, and I was having a little think about who was going to attack and who was going to go long, who would be part and parcel of it. And Johanna Tidholm was one of those riders I had tagged today to do exactly this, and that's what she's doing. She's off the front of the pack at the moment. Gallegos, though, is the rider bringing them back
at the moment. But is this just a precursor to going into our sprint and maybe just a little bit of a longer run in at the moment? Because our second sprint, the Hederiot Wonders sprint, it's not all that far away.
Well, it's not, it's, what is it? It's in about 800 meters time. And it could be a long run from Tidholm to go into that checkpoint. It could be a concerted effort. We've got one or two riders. You can just see on the top right-hand corner of your screen. Now, one rider disengaged from the back of the group, but Meyer, Kolczynski, Fua all in the mix here. Now, Gallegos's legs must be tired. She raced the World Championship semi-finals and qualified.
Yep.
She then, the following weekend, did an Ironman triathlon.
Yep.
And now she's back on the Sunday Race Club again. That must be one very tired-legged woman.
No, I think that is just great training now.
I'm sure she'll message me and tell me.
In with the world champion, Kate McCarthy, the rainbow jersey, awarded across all of cycling's disciplines in the background with those rainbow bands. The rainbow bands can be worn on the sleeves and the neck in perpetuity, forever. But of course, for this year, not only can McCarthy wear that when she is racing on Cycling Esports in person, but her avatar is bedecked in it at the moment. At the moment, McCarthy just watching the riders fire down the road. Kittle at the moment chasing Bridget Falensky. Falensky using that sprint speed. A real explosive rider, and definitely a rider for whom she will have looked at today's race route and thought, yes, this is the kind of race I want it to be. Definitely a rider who didn't find the changes from segments to checkpoints to her advantage. But on this course, staying with that leading group, Falensky is hard to beat.
Yes, she is. So Bridget Falensky leads through the Category 1 race at the Hederiot Wonders Sprint. Jennifer Gothlander led through Category 2. Helen McKay led through Category 3. Diana Corrales led through Category 4. There's some consistency here. Yep. Amy Loxley, though, different rider, Category 5. And Liz Smithson, again, as we said, Category 6, different rider leading them through that Hederiot Wonders Sprint. Falensky this time, Category 1, the fastest group to that point. And then Category 3, Helen McKay leading that group through.
Yep, Category 3. I was going to say exactly the same thing. Category 3 still ahead of Category 2 in terms of time to checkpoint. Still really putting in a phenomenal performance at this stage. And you can see that pace high. The group's definitely not necessarily going to form. Our leading riders on the road, though, it is Category 6, Jacqueline Almeida here in our pain cave once again. And Jacqueline, I know we didn't say this, but do get in touch, let us know what's happened to that pain cave. Looking very, very
I'll tell you something.
Clean and in there, and it does allow you to focus.
She's putting in a fantastic performance today. So Almeida in the group pushing on here really, really strong. Up and out the saddle. She's dialing it because they're coming towards the final sprint checkpoint. Now it's Smithson versus Almeida at the moment, and Almeida is pushing. Almeida is running onto the back of Smithson, but Smithson's got a phenomenal kick. What a kick from Smithson. She's trying to take that points away from Nikki Lloyd. Well, Smithson goes through. She picks up those 5 points. The question is, has she done enough? So Liz Smithson goes through. Now, Nikki Lloyd not in that leading group anymore. So she won't be picking up any points in that sprint competition. Just having a bit of a scroll back through some of the earlier sections, and I'm just looking to see who picked up the points. Well, yeah, actually, I think Nikki Lloyd could well keep that green skin suit in that Category 6 race, but great racing from Liz Smithson.
Smithson did a phenomenal job here as Lloyd goes in and through. This is a phenomenal ride by Nikki Lloyd. It's good to have Nikki back on form as well. Nikki Lloyd, one of our regulars for a long time on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. And at the moment, with that green jersey on the shoulders, just detached from this leading group. And for me, what's really interesting here, you can see that that leading group at the moment, they're at the 34-kilometer marker. It's not going to be long before they hit our ascent onto that main climb, which comes at 35.4 kilometers. If we take a little bit of a think about that climb, Emma, and the stepped ascent there, Category 1 is still some way from that. They're at 20 kilometers. It really does loom large in the rider's consciousness, to use a Kirbyism, Carlton Kirby phrase there, looming large in their thoughts, because it is such a key part of the course here today. And I think for me, it's going to be very interesting to see how the riders approach this. Good to see so many of our riders from the United States of America in action here today. They've been riding very, very strongly across a number of race categories. Candice Dobbins in Category 5. Emily Nyquist riding strongly in Category... I want to say Category 2.
She is in Category 2.
And Nicole Mayer in Category 1. So just in with Nyquist at the moment in Category 2, and then in with Mayer in Category 1.
Indeed, and the Category 1 group now rolling at that 20.8 kilometre marker. They're on that transition towards the Octopus Loop Sprint. That comes at the 24 kilometre marker, and the pack now rolling strongly together. At last count, there were 25 riders in this leading group still in Category 1. I love the shape of the groups, wide across the road, steady state. Look at that. Nicole Mayer's heart rate 149. You can see that in the white bar. Her power, she's not in the draft, she's out in the wind, but she is zone 1, zone 2 rolling steady. She just kicks up a little bit here, and you can see that on the bar on the top right hand corner of your screen underneath the map. It gives you an indication of how hard the rider is actually working. Nicole Mayer, zone 1 highlighted, steady riding.
And sitting in the draft really key, but for me, this is showing, even in the wind, it's still only zone 2, maybe zone 3. Kick into 4 to get, if just losing a little bit of ground there. Category 2, by comparison, you can see the wind-up is coming, because this is for the sprint. Gonzalez, Rua, Gothlander, and Arama in the mix here. This is a real big run now to take away those sprint points, and it's Gothlander who's resplendent in the green skin suit on the move here. This is a real big kick from her. She wants to take away maximum points. She's going to do that. Gonzalez Rua is going to come through in second position. The rider who's on the top left-hand side of your screen, just being beaten there by Gothlander, who's in the centre. And you can see Gothlander putting in a big dig there. Lee Sophie Rummett looking very, very composed here. And I think we're going to see Lee Sophie go for this on the climb. I don't want to give her tactics away, but I'm sure everybody else in that group is thinking exactly the same.
I agree.
She's going to go on this climb. It is a climb that's going to suit her strengths as well.
I'll tell you something. There's a lot of riders in this race at the moment, in this Category 2 pack, for whom that final climb is going to suit. I thought the Category 1 group was big. 25 riders in the leading group in Category 1. Could you guess how many riders in that leading group in Category 2?
32.
33.
Oh, get him, Mr. Payne.
Well, I can tell you it's a massive group of Category 2 riders. Bearing in mind, there were 36 on the start sheets, and there are 33 of them still in the leading group. But coming up to 25 kilometres, Katerina Karamani on your screen at the moment. The Yorkshire flag is flying in the background. She is a Yorkshire lass. She's also a really strong rider and racer. She's in that mix. She's in that group, and she, for one, will be looking for Well, she's going to be looking for a really strong finish today in the Hederiat climb.
Indeed, didn't get a chance to say A up to Katerina Karamani, A up being the
Yorkshire term.
Yorkshire term to say hello, A up.
Well, Bridget Kiddle, not from Yorkshire. She has got that map in the background and she is now intent on pushing. She's in that green skin suit of the sprint leaders competition in category 1. Gallegos, I'll tell you something, is the rider closing down all the gaps today.
She's doing a lot of work at the moment, Gallegos, and I do wonder whether that is part of the tactics potentially for the breakaway squad. Keep it a little bit closer together. Also, I think, though, she's a rider who's got that long-range thought in mind, whereas Kiddle at the moment, looking at those sprints, definitely the rider to keep an eye on as we go into our sprint segment. We're not all that far away now as we make our way out around less than 1,000 meters to go to come into our sprint banner. We've basically got this long right hand turn. It unwinds into a tight left. We come round the left and it straightens out. And that is where we are heading, just to the left of where the riders now at the moment out on course. You can see the dirt road just off to the left that weaves its way round. The development down in Hederiat Island, an amazing cycling facility available for everybody to use. It's well worth taking a trip down. And if you do want to engage in plenty of sprints, you do need to get in touch with the team down there because there's lots of great racing down there as well. And of course, there is those opportunities to go ride with a lot of the professional riders down there as well who are taking on that course, using that course for training. At the moment, though, no training. This is racing, and this is Giddle going for the sprint in the green jersey.
Well, I'll tell you who's coming thick and fast behind. It's Bridget Falensky at the moment. Falensky's at 12 watts per kilo behind. She's run onto Kiddle's wheel. She's going to go up and over the top. Oh, what can Kiddle do to respond? Can she respond to Falensky? Not at the moment. It looks like Bridget Falensky is going to go underneath the banner. Can Joanne Tidholm roll her as well on the line? Yes, she can. Tidholm goes over the top. Whoa, she nearly caught Falensky as well.
And those were key points there because what was happening, Kiddle's in the green jersey. She's still holding on. Falensky has narrowed that down. Now, I think Bridget Falensky will be ruining the fact that she didn't score big, I don't think, on the very first sprint. I think that was where she didn't take as many points. Just going to do a double check through. Falensky not scoring on the first checkpoint. And because of that, it means that she's now chasing the points there of Kiddle. Kiddle, though, being passed by Tidholm, lost an extra point.
Yeah, she did.
Now you can see on your screen the winners of the checkpoint at the Octopus Loot Sprint, the riders who came through there first. And category 2 now will be pleased to know they have now reached that checkpoint in a faster time than category 3.
Can I just say, the final sprint in the category 1 race, that final sprint checkpoint, the Hederiat Beach Sprint, comes at the 33.3 kilometre marker. It's going to be fast and furious because there's 3 women who could be in the mix.
It's going to be very, very close. Indeed, you'll need to stay tuned to find out what happens there. Meanwhile, category 6 on to the climb at the moment, on their way up here. As you can see at the 37.3 kilometre marker, it's an elevated roadway into the sky.
It is indeed.
I know I have talked extensively about how realistically the Hederiat Island is portrayed. This might have been the moment where the course designers decided, you know what, let's just throw something into the mix, something maybe that hints at what might happen in the future. You never, ever know. At the moment, category 6 and category 5 onto the climb. And each time that gradient increases, because it is a very stepped climb with flatter sections on the way through, you're going to see that push coming. Category 6 on the climb, category 5 on the climb. Approaching the climb is category 4 and category 3. However, at the moment, the leaders on the road at 37.7 kilometres, are a total race distance today 40.5. And of course, don't forget that the checkpoint that comes in for the top of the climb, well, that checkpoint kicking in before we get to our finish. And that will leave a little bit of a window for riders potentially to kick over the top and to accelerate away. 3 of our climb checkpoint winners took overall victory. What will happen today as we go up this climb, as we see Alexandra Knowles on the attack again in category 5. Sebra Alray just holding her pace here, goes on to the increased gradient. You see it went to a 4.5% there. Alray out of the saddle now, picking up the pace, not wanting to let that gap go too far. And look at this, look at Alray on the left hand side of your screen. This is the heart of the race action, and this is Alray responding to that move.
Well, Knowles is on the front. Samuel is in there as well. Holweiler. And in fact, you know what? It is a massive push at the moment now. Alray trying to close it down. Becerra is there. Ervek is there as well. Warren is in the mix. Never discount a sprint from Joanna Warren in category 5. Isabella Giraldo is here as well. She's got a great finish. She's going to be watching the action. You can already see they've lost 1, 2, 3 riders off the back of the group. The group is getting smaller, but with 3.3 kilometers to go. Well, I think it's going to get smaller still.
I don't think that was a difficult prediction to make there, Emma.
Well, you know, someone's got to do it.
Well, indeed they do. It is going to get smaller. There is no way that group is going to stay at that size to the top. If it does, I think that's a number of potential opportunities missed. Because for me, one of the key things here that all the groups need to bear in mind, and it's true whether you're in category 6 or 1 or in category 5 as we see at the moment, the more riders you take into that finale, the more risk you have that somebody's going to be stronger than you on that final climb in towards the line. And for me, that is going to be really, really critical. You don't want to take too many riders in. If you get the opportunity to drop somebody, you need to take it, because that is going to be key. You still have to have that energy yourself.
Yeah, there are around 13 riders still in that leading group in category 5, and they are still pushing towards the finish. Holweiler picking up the mantle now, but I tell you something, there's so many strong women in that category 5 leading group. Knowles is there, Becerra is there, Alzat is there, Samuel, Loxley, Gentili, Idzik is all in the mix. They've all had wins on the Sunday Race Club.
That for me shows you that strength in depth. It shows you just how strong the racing is. You can be here as well. Make sure you download the app on iOS, on Android, or on Windows from the www.mywhoosh.com website. You can get all the links to the various app stores for that. Don't forget, of course, that if you're going to race the Sunday Race Club, because all of our riders are verified, you need to have the correct equipment to race. You need that equipment to meet a minimum standard. So check out where you're going to be, where you're going to sit in the standings, or where you're going to be when you do your power passport. And it's well worth doing for all of our riders to get that power passport done as well and get out and race. It's not just a Sunday Race Club where that applies. Now, don't forget, of course, we have the Apex Racing League on Tuesdays as well. So that has been putting down there's been some great racing in there as well. We'll see what transpires with that in the future. But at the moment, focusing down in on the riders in the racing. So let's take a little bit of a check here as they come up onto the upper sections of climb. Category 6, Almeida on the front with Bremner. Bridget Bremner have been quiet all race, but now deciding it's time to put that pace in. Limbago, though, coming at speed here. 4 watts per kilo, going straight over the top.
Well, she is indeed, and Limbago going over the top of Bremner. Bremner really strong, and as we say, the only place you want to be at the front of the race is right at the finish line. Almeida and Smithson. Hagelin is there as well. Jaskalainen is not out of this yet. There are still 6 riders in this category 6 race, and they are coming up to the 1 kilometre to go banner. It is not that far away, but Limbaga now pushing on the front. Almeida making sure she's on the wheel. Bremner glued to the wheels, and so is Smithson. Jaskalainen, we know she can finish and finish strongly, and Hagelin, she's on the back of the group, not out of contention yet. A little bit further back down the road, but not that far, just 900 metres behind them is the leading group in category 5, and it is even bigger. Knowles, Becerra, Alray, Holweiler, Idzik, all in that category 5 group. The first 2 riders, the first 2 categories out of the pen, well, they are now coming towards the finish.
So first of all, we will see our climb banner, that archway, the going over the roadway. That is the polka dots banner, the red dots on the white background for the climb. That comes first, and then once the riders have gone through that, they need to very quickly switch their attentions to the race finish itself with that UCI banner. You can see the climb banner being reached. So by category 6, Bridget Bremner leading them through. She'll take the climb segment. She also now takes the overall climb competition because just one climb segment here today on a race route, but now it's about getting to the race finish. One right-hand turn, circumnavigation of the big pillars in the sky, or to the right, going around in a clockwise direction, one round to the left, and this is, I call it a sneaky finish. It's a finish for those riders who know where the finish is because they can really take advantage.
Yeah, with 450 metres to go, it's Bremner on the front in the polka dot skin suit in category 6. Almeida is the rider coming up onto her shoulder and going up and over the top. We're in with Jacqueline Almeida at the moment. She's just put in a fantastic move here to come past Bremner. Limbaga comes past Bremner as well. Haglin is there. Smithson is there. Jaskalainen's on the back of the group. They've got 300 metres to go. They're going to swing around to the left now. Almeida pushes again. She's strong on the front of this pack. Limbaga has gone now. So has Haglin. The big push is coming with 200 metres to go. The climb is still going strong. 6.4% at the moment as Almeida goes again. She's up and out of the saddle in the pain cave. She's dancing on those pedals, but Limbaga is ahead of her. She's got to make the catch if she wants to go past. The push, well, there's no big push from behind at the moment. It's these two riders. They're not yet there at the banner, but Angelica Limbaga is battling Jacqueline Almeida. Almeida is the rider on your screen in second place at the moment. Smithson, Bremner at 3 seconds. Can they close it down? I don't think so. They're going to run out of road. It's Limbaga versus Almeida. Almeida now pushes again. One more push from Almeida. Can she close the gap down? That's the banner. Can she do it? They're side by side. Limbaga, Almeida. I think it's Limbaga on the line. We're going to take a look. It is indeed Limbaga who is given the win today in the category 6 race. Almeida 0.088 of a second behind. Some move.
So Limbaga in 1, Almeida in 2, Smithson in 3, Bremner in 4, Jaskalainen in 5, and Haglin in 6. Category 5, they're on their way to that same point.
They are indeed. They've got 400 metres to go, and Becerra has attacked early with Loxley. So those two riders right at the front. Holweiler now trying to close it down. Knowles putting in a big push. So is Al Ray. Samuel Holweiler. Knowles and Al Ray on your screen at the moment. Holweiler is up and out the saddle pushing. Now is Al Ray and Knowles. All of those riders, but it's Becerra, the rider they are chasing, and Amy Loxley. And Loxley's got a good turn of speed on her as well. Knowles, Al Ray, they're 3 seconds back as Holweiler pushes. She's in the polka dot skin suit at the moment, trying to get back to Becerra and Loxley. Holweiler, you can see her gulping in the air at the moment, but she's made it. She's made the juncture to Loxley and Becerra. Becerra kicks again. She doesn't want Holweiler coming back to her. Loxley trying to close the gap down. They're coming into the final 150 metres. They've got to swing around the corner. What can Loxley do? Because Natalia Becerra is riding away with this today. Amy Loxley puts in one big dig, but it's too late. Natalia Becerra takes the win in category 5. Amy Loxley will take second, and Tanya Holweiler, she will take third.
Holweiler there, putting in the dig, taking away the polka dot skin suit, but not having the power left then afterwards to close down on the riders in front. So it's Becerra coming through for the win, taking top spot. Loxley in 2, Holweiler in 3, Knowles in 4, and Alray in 5th place. Category 4, again, right on the turn and all on the way in.
They are indeed, and Caroline Manfron is the rider battling with Isabella Karwazewska. Karwazewska in the polka dot skin suit, but Manfron is driving towards the line. Big push there, but Karwazewska is still coming from behind. She's just 1 second back. Now we can take a look at the two. The pack is behind, but I'm not sure they're going to close this down at the moment as Karwazewska goes over the top of Manfron. Isabella Karwazewska pushing towards the line in that polka dot skin suit. Rebecca Johnson moving up up through the pack. So is Catherine Montoya. Montoya's got a nasty turn of speed on her at the finish of the race as well. But at the moment, Kawazewska, she sits, she pushes, she gets up, she sits, she pushes, she gets up. She's got to keep this going because she's not at the finish line yet. And Restrepo now moving through very, very strongly. Isabella Restrepo is moving strong. So is DePavia. Restrepo, though, takes the win in Category 4. Kawazewska holds on for second. I think that's Manchando DePavia who comes through for third.
So let's sum up these very quickly for you. It was Restrepo in 1, Kawaskuska in 2, then DePavia coming through in 3, Johnson in 4, and Manfron coming through in 5th place. Don't forget all of these results at the moment provisional and subject to verification. You can find the full results on www.mywhoosh.com/results. And don't forget lots of great information as well as results on the MyWhoosh info page as well as mywhooshinfo.com. Next group, heading in towards our finish, heading in towards our polka dot banner as well for the climb segment. Category 3, another big group coming up here. Are we going to see a solo win? Are we going to see that lead exchanged on the line as they come in? Walkenhurst, Montgomery, Essler in here, Benilla in this group as well. You can see Montgomery and Benilla on the left-hand side of your screen. Montgomery at the moment leading this race. She's going to take away that polka dot skin suit. The jersey in person is open to get the breeze going to try and keep that cooling in effect. Montgomery with the lead through that checkpoint. But I tell you something, this is going to be absolutely key as they come in towards our finish. Who is going to be able to take this? It's a huge group here coming up, and they are all fast finishers.
Well, 11 riders in the leading group in Category 3 coming into the final 450 metres to go. Walkenhurst, Vasquez, Essler, Montgomery, Benilla is in there. Stephanie Briggs, a Canadian rider, is in there as well. So is Jen Reel, the rider from the USA. They're all battling here, and Valentina Desenia comes onto the front of the pack. Carmen Yao is there. Angelica Ultramarino has also got a massive turn of pace at the end of the race. Jen Reel now starting to come through to the front, but they've still got 300 metres here. And we've seen with the earlier finishes, it can come right the way down to the line. But Reel is leading this out from Desenia, from Yao, from Ultramarino and Benilla. Jen Reel now driving on towards the finish line. She's got to keep this going. She's got to hold the pace. Valentina Desenia in 2, Ultramarino in 3, Benilla in 4. Benilla is there as well. There's around 100 metres to go. It's not long now till they're going to see the banner. Has Jen Reel done the business? Yes, she has. Jen Reel takes the win from Desenia, Benilla, Ultramarino and Essler in Category 3. 11 riders with 400 metres to go, and Jen Reel tops the mantle.
She certainly does. So just to round up Category 3, Jen Reel taking victory from Desenia in second, Benilla in third, Ultramarino in fourth, Essler in fifth. Or just to run you a little bit further down through the top 10, Walkenhurst in sixth, Vasquez in seventh, Yao in eighth, Montgomery in ninth, 10th was Briggs, and in fact the last one in that group, Amory Lip in 11th position. The riders coming through thick and fast in a multitude of groups. Category 2 just making the way up the early stages of the climb. You can see it's not too vertiginous as you look down onto the water below. It's just like a big bridge at the moment, but it's not going to be that for long as we climb up into the skies of Abu Dhabi in the Hadariat Island as we go up into the clouds. Category 2 onto the cloud. Category 1 just making the way towards that point. And you can see at the moment Category 1 on the left-hand side of your screens. Well, they are just coming down through towards where the pens where they set off from here 52 minutes ago. They're going to be going on to the climb. We will see. Are we going to get a new course record today? I don't think we are. I think it's not rolling fast enough, but we will see.
Can I give you my prediction for Category 1 and Category 2?
Go on.
Boom.
Okay, that's, yeah, descriptive.
It was.
It was short and concise, I'll give you that.
It was indeed.
4 letters.
So 23 riders in the Category 1 leading back, 33 riders still in the Category 2 leading pack. Gothlander and Gonzalez Rua had gone clear at the Hadariat Beach Sprint just by a couple of seconds. And I'll tell you something, if those two had worked together, they really could have gone clear of this group. But they are all back in the fold now. Gothlander is in the green skin suit, but there's so many green jerseys down there, she's hidden.
Indeed. Green jerseys, green skin suits. Green
Category
foliage in
2.
the directly below the riders as well.
Well, there's a
Green seats.
selection of riders in the Category 2 pack down there on your screen. Giovanni, Gonzalez, Rua, Shanks, Gothlander and Rammer, all in that leading group. And it's going to be such a fast-paced climb. They're coming in at the 36.9 kilometre marker. They are indeed up onto the flat plateau at the moment. Multiple steps on this climb, we have said before, 9 steps, but one big plateau in the middle, and that's where they are at the 37 kilometre marker. They've got to get to the 40.5 kilometre marker, which is indeed the finish line. It is a sneaky finish line, as Matt has said earlier today, and you don't see it until you are on it, and it really has played with the timing of the pack.
For me, it's really, really key to know the course. If you haven't had the chance to race it, to watch it back, getting that information really is key. So make sure that you are watching the videos. Make sure you subscribe to the MyWhoosh YouTube stream on YouTube. Don't forget, of course, make sure you follow at MyWhoosh on Instagram, on Facebook, at my_whoosh on X to keep up with everything MyWhoosh. Don't forget, of course, lots of great racing is still to come all the way through the year on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club, as well as lots of great racing. All of those events on the mywhoosh.com pages. You can race, you can train, you can ride, you can escape zombies, whatever you fancy. You can indeed.
I've still not done that.
You said you would this week.
I know, and I haven't.
No, you haven't. You failed in your
As
homework.
the sun has been shining, it's just been too glorious to ride indoors.
That's a big red cross on your homework there from last week.
I'll try again.
Well, you self-selected it. You said it.
Next week. It's going to rain next week. I'm going to race zombies.
Okay, so whilst Emma's going to be racing zombies, you could be joining her, so make sure you jump on board MyWhoosh. I said that last week as well. Time to get into the racing category 2, making the way up here. 37.9 now, 38 kilometres covered of today's 40.5 kilometre race route. And basically, it's all uphill from here. It's just a matter of varying degrees until we reach the top steep sections like the one we're on now, going up to 6%. Flatter sections, and they are flatter rather than flat, it has to be said, because it very rarely actually drops to 0% at the moment. This group right on the limit. You can just see at the moment Heather Shanks right into the red zone here. The headphones are on. The tunes, I'm sure, are in her ears.
Tunes are pumping.
She's going on the way in towards our finish. Sophie Rammer out of the saddle here, climbing her way up this ascent, looking to be right in the mix. So is Gothlander, Shanks, Gonzalez, Rua, Giovanni. The whole shebang are here, making the way up. Denton is in this group as well. So my pick, definitely not out of this at the moment. But you've got to be right in the mix. Katerina Karamani and here. Nyquist, definitely a rider to watch out for with this race finish and the ascent. She'll be wanting to push it all the way to the top. She took the polka dots jersey, the climb competition in the MyWhoosh Championships, the stage race run across 7 stages earlier on this year. That's available to watch back as well. Lots of great racing on Cycling Esports for you to watch on the MyWhoosh YouTube channel. As we see Gothlander in the green at the moment, holding position nicely. The kilometres ticking by. That polka dot archway is not all that far away now. So 2 more pillars to go around before they reach the point of the polka dot archway, and one going around with the pillar to their right, wants to go around with the pillar to their left, and then they're going to be on to the archway, and then it's the run for the line.
Well, the 33 riders in the Category 2 race, they've got 1.5 kilometres to go, and they are all still together. A little bit further back down the road is the Category 1 pack. At last count, 23 riders, but the push is on now from Nicole Mayer. Gabby Guerin watching the move and covering the pack, but Mayer now launching off the front at 37.7k. Alberg quickly responding. So is Tidholm and Coinston. Larson in the mix as well. Kristen Kulczynski is there, and so is Van Shaw. The Category 1 pack, it's got a smattering of riders trying to go off the front of the pack, but no concerted drive away at the moment. Everybody able to watch everybody else's move, but I tell you something, that's the rainbow bands coming through the pack and launching off the front, and now the race is on because Kate McCarthy is launched off the front. Gabby Guerra in 2, Francesca Tomasi in 3, Kolczynski in 4, Hermansen and Mayer and Kittle all go. Fua coming up through the pack as well, but Guerra on the wheel of McCarthy. She is not letting her go. Kolczynski is closing it down. Guerra's gone over the top of McCarthy at the 38.1 kilometre marker. These two are going to battle it out to the finish.
In with the Category 2 riders coming around that left-hand turn, heading for the polka dot banner at the moment. Katarzyna Wellner has got the race lead, but coming up now comes Goslander. Goslander accelerates over the top. Goslander puts in a huge dig here. She's looking to take away the polka dot jersey as well as the sprint jersey. She's coming across the line of the polka dot barrier. That means that she will take away green and the for the sprint and the polka dot for the climb, but has she got enough left in the tank to go with the race lead here? I think that's a shake of the head, but we will see massive effort, big rewards for Goslander. But now this is about the run into the finish. Look at the face of the riders on your screen. There's a variations of a grimace all the way through to the expectation. Let's see what they're going to do. This is the run for the line. This is the run for the race finish in Category 2.
Well, it's Sarah Roach on the front and Kate Tridden now closing it down. Charlotte Lucas from New Zealand is coming up as well as Asulia Kasani. Emily Sopers is in the mix now, driving through the pack as well, but Roach is on the front, Tridden in 2, Engstrom, Kasani, Lucas, Sopers, Wiseman now coming up as well as Giovanni. You've got Giovanni, Gonzalez, Ruiz, Shanks, Goslander and Ramett on your screen at the moment, but it's Wagner also moving towards the front. Roach now back, it's Tridden. Tridden and Wagner going head to head here. Tridden now pushing again. They're side by side. Wagner, Tridden, Wagner. Wagner on the front here as they come back round. Now it's Tridden. Wagner pushes again. They're coming to the banner. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Tridden from Wagner, from Sopers, from Giovanni. I think Wiseman was in the mix as well. Matt, give us a run.
Confirmed results. Kate Tridden taking the win from Dana Wagner in second place. Emily Sopers. So the riders absolutely nailing this in Category 2. Category 1 has been blown apart by the power and the pace of the world champion, Kate McCarthy, on the attack. Guerra at 5 seconds. Tomasi leading the next duo of climbers, but from being a contained group, from being a very compact group, this has been exploded by that pace that was put in by McCarthy. McCarthy taking the long sweeping right-hand turn that will take her through the polka dot banner. She will take away the climbs competition here today, and at the moment looking set to be race victor.
Well, we said it was going to go boom, and boom it has gone because McCarthy launched. Guerra went with her, but finally Guerra couldn't stay on McCarthy's wheel. McCarthy in polka dots at the moment. She's got 500 metres to go. Guerra in 2, Kolczynski in 3, but Kolczynski's got company because Tomasi is there. McCarthy on the top of your screen at the moment, absolutely dialing this. Tomasi still seated. Guerra up and dancing on those pedals, driving in second place at the moment. McCarthy gritting her teeth with the drive to the line. I tell you something, Kate McCarthy is never happy unless she is working hard at the end of a race and giving it absolutely everything. She's driving towards that finish line today. Guerra still on those pedals, still pushing strongly. Tomasi in 3 at the moment, riding against Kristen Kolczynski. Fua a little further back with Koinsten and Hermansen, but Kate McCarthy swings around the final corner. She's going to see the UCI banner today. She's going to take the win here on the Hadaria Ascend course. This is the last qualifier in October. McCarthy takes the win. Guerra very shortly is going to come underneath that banner as well for second place. These two riders giving it absolutely everything in the finale to this race today. Francesca Tomasi is going to take third place. Great race from her against Kristen Kolczynski in fourth. Catherine Fua will come through for fifth place. And Lisa Hermansen, what a race today. I think that's sixth.
I think it is indeed just waiting for those results to be confirmed on our screens as we see Nicole Mayer, another of those aggressive riders on the front of the race, making her way through. She's going to come through nicely inside the top 10 as well here today. I think might just be just outside it, going to be hovering around that top 10. Here we go. These are going to be your confirmed results here as we have McCarthy taking away the race win from Guerra in second, to Massey in third, Kolczynski in fourth, Fua in fifth place. Then Hermansen taking sixth, Tidholm seventh, Kiddle taking eighth place, and then Coinston followed by Albo to round out the top 10. And in fact, indeed, it was Mayer taking 11th with Gallegos in 12th place. So those legs not all that tired. Van der Vliet in 13th. The results all on MyWhoosh.com. Make sure that you go on there to pick up the full results. And remember, when that blue stamp of approval is on, all of those results are verified. Well, the qualifications are done on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club for our women's competitors. They now need to get themselves into the teams. Get yourself in touch with your teams. Get on to the Discord channels. Make sure that you get yourself sorted for that. The sooner you do it, the sooner we get the start sheet. So please, get a wriggle on. It makes our life a little bit easier. There's a lot of paperwork behind the scenes we need to do. So, and I've got to say, the women's competitors are much better than the men at getting into their teams early.
Well, can we just say, I know there's a flippant point in there, but it is true. If you want your teams highlighted on the show, big style, then the earlier you get your teams together, the more likely that is to happen.
Yeah, if you leave it till the Saturday, it's not going to happen in quite the same way because we just don't have that same prep time. It's real simple logistics. Now, just a couple of quick points before we go. Don't forget, make sure that you follow Emma. It's at biking_Emma on Instagram. You can get in touch with me at MattFixerPain. Don't forget, make sure you subscribe to MyWhoosh, to the YouTube channel or to Twitch TV. And don't forget, of course, make sure that you're watching when we go in to our finals. If you are leaving us at this point, you're not going to be watching the men's. Why not? What's wrong with you? We would love to see you there for that. If you are leaving us, don't forget you can catch up with me a little bit later on today. Well, a lot later on today into the evening if you're in Europe, because I will be putting words to the action to the UCI Paracycling Track World Championships from Brazil, where a number of our riders have been racing from today. Last day of 4 days of fantastic action on that. Don't forget, we will be back for the men's racing qualifier race number 3 and back for the finals next week on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. But for the moment, from Emma, myself, and of course all of the team, we're going to take a short break. We will be back shortly. We'll see you again soon. Goodbye. So hello and welcome to the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. Welcome back if you're watching our women's qualifier race 3 that kicked off the action here on the Sunday Race Club. Our final set of qualification races before we move on to our finals next week. My name's Matt Payne. I'm here with Emma Martin, putting words to the action that has been taking place for the women. They were in Hadariat Island in Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. So we're moving across to Europe, to Belgium for the men's race for the 55-kilometre course.
Well, we are indeed. 55 kilometres, 436 metres of climbing. The riders come out of the start pen. It's a flat 8 kilometres to start. The first sprint, though, is on that plateau. That indeed comes at the 7.7 kilometre marker. Then they come off of the plateau and then they go into the Korteberg climb. Down the other side, through the two Eichenberg Hill and climb. That is the dastardly duo that is not classified today, through the Smedenport sprint at 31.6. Then it's the Quermont. They're onto the top of the plateau. They come down the other side, up the Valkenberg, and so it continues to rise on that plateau there. And then, well, it's the final descent and the run in to the finish line. And last time we were here, we've only been here once before. That was Qualifier 2 in September. And Ollie Jones and Jason Osborne had a huge sprint that day. 72 minutes, 47 seconds was the winning time for Ollie Jones. In fact, Michael Knudsen and Hayden Pucker were not far behind. Neither was Marshall Wu. 4 seconds separated the top 5 riders in Category 1. The only time we have ridden this 55k kilometre Belgium course.
And I missed out on putting words to the action on the course here because I was at the Mountain Bike World Championships. But I did watch it back and I thought it was really interesting the way that the race played out. Really looking forward to seeing what the riders do on the second time basking. Often our fastest times on the course, we see quicker times the second time that we go to a course, and seeing how the riders fare, because of course the Valkenberg climb actually featured in the Gravel World Championships just last week. And this short, sharp climb is really replicated by the team, doing a fantastic job of getting these climbs in front of all of our categories of rider, from the elite riders in Category 1 to our standard race category, which is Category 6. All 6 race categories covering the same 55-kilometre course with 436 metres of climbing. None of the climbs topping out much higher than about 50 metres above sea level. So going to be a really interesting route today. And it should be pretty quick with all those short climbs to shake things up. But we will see just what mood our riders are in. Our first riders are going to be Category 6. The Category 6 riders, already a number of teams with 3 riders. BMC Spinergy with Gibson, McMurtry and Abbott. Also the BMC 6s, they've actually got 4 riders in the racing with Bain, Lebont, Cronier and Jacobonis. And it'll be interesting to see what they can do. Can they play out those team tactics? The rest of the team's not yet up to that quota of 3 that's required next week, because remember that next week it is our team competition that comes into play. Prizes for 7 teams, top 7 teams in each race category. In both the women's and men's races, a team needs to be at least 3 riders, no more than 5, and it's the top 3 riders' team time that is added together to give us our qualification, their time that qualifies them as the first team, the second, the third team, and so on, to take away those prizes. This is the last chance to qualify. 2 rides needed to be in that team competition. Last chance now on October on qualifier race number 3. Category 6 up and away.
Well, 56 riders on the start sheets in Category 6 today. And, well, what can I say about last week? But Escobar took the win from Arago, Tigert, Truber and Maillard. It was indeed a clear run from Escobar, because 12 seconds clear of Arago and the sprint behind. And boy, was it a sprint behind, because in that group were 15 riders doing the chasing. So Category 6, it's what kept Sebsa, and he's always puts in a fast start. And look at that black and red helmet. Looks like he's got the flames rolling. Antti Järvinen has not got the flames rolling. He has got the fan club in the pain cave.
Absolutely love it.
The flags are flying, the lights are pumping, the crowds are cheering, even the dog is there as well. What can I say? But that is one way to race the Sunday Race Club.
I tell you something, every week Antti Järvinen ups the status, ups the ante in the best pain cave award. I tell you something, he's definitely got the supporters in there as well. Brilliant.
He's got a Jack Russell. That is first class for me.
Go on, Antti. You got the support there as well. Absolutely love it. Thank you, everybody who gets their cameras rolling. A plea out to all of our riders. Please do jump on board in the Zoom and make sure, though, that your name matches. So if your name is Joe Blogs, don't put it in as Joe Blogs or Joey Blogs. It won't work. Or Jojo. Whatever it is, make sure that you put the exact name in that matches in the Zoom room so that we can go to the right rider with the right name. Make sure that you put the auto rotate on and make sure it is in landscape mode if you're using a phone to join, and make sure you do join in. We really, really love to highlight you, your performances, your fan club.
Yes.
Do expect a mild ribbing if you have the most Spartan pain cave in the world, but we will try and be positive about everybody's pain cave and the performances, of course, because there's some amazing riders putting in amazing performances week after week after week here in the 52 weeks of the year. Absolutely fantastic. Now, what did you check, Seb? So you are utilising the arms there. Going for the full black background that we employ here at Full Speed Bits for the podcast that
Look at that.
And again, nice casquette, nice cap, and
nice
jersey. He is the...
sartorially elegant always.
There is an award at the Brompton World Championships that I've had the pleasure of putting words to the action to for the most sartorially elegant rider. And I think in terms of the men's racing, you'd be hard-pressed to beat Wojciech Sebster as the most sartorially elegant rider in the peloton.
It's a positive phrase.
It is, yeah. Sartorially elegant, basically best dressed, but a posh way of saying it.
Yes, well, best dressed, best rider. Jeff Rooney is on our screens at the moment, part and parcel of the pack, but down the road. Well, take a look at this. We've got a big attack coming off the front, and no surprises. It's Ola Warren, Sprint King. Look what he's doing to the pack on that top right-hand corner. It's decimating the Category 6 race.
He does know that this is not the standard Belgian course that we've used for a lot of time, where the Sprinty comes in the first 5K. He's got an extra 2.7K
I'm sure he knows.
to go, because it's at 7.7. A real big move here by Warren. Belikov's coming across Järvinen, having to focus on the racing and not the support. I'm sure he'll be being cheered on here because he's on the front of the chase group. Belikov's coming onto the wheel of Warren here. Interesting move. I'm loving the aggressive racing already here on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club in Category 6. A real packed race field. I mean, in terms of riders who we expect to figure strongly on this course, it's riders who've got punch, they've got the kick, and they've got the attack. And I think we're going to see that. We're going to see that in Category 6. And, of course, our riders who are about to take to the start in Category 5. The Category 5 teams, well, number of teams already with that requisite number of 3 riders. BMC have got 4 riders, Cridland, Lipka, Cavajo, along with Fossied. The Cycling District squad from Portugal with Fernandez, with Castro and Pinto. We have the Level Raiders squad with Tisanu from Belarus, Dromard from France, and Bertrand from Canada, also with the 3 riders that are needed. And, of course, the WEZ squad, Portugal, the Philippines, Brazil, and Lithuania. And that is a real global mix of riders on the WEZ squad. Morato, Cirillo, Pence, and Sicilianus. It's time for Category 5 to hit the roads on the qualifier race number 3, final qualifier in October.
Well, a lot of riders on the start sheets in Category 5, 61 in total coming out of the start pen. Now, last week, the BMC squad, Marius Fossi took first, Jonathan Cridland took third, and Josh Lipka took fourth. If there's ever one team lining themselves up for a great race next week in the finals, it is that squad. But it's not a short, sharp, punchy race next week. It's long, it's climbing, and it's the Jebel Hafit. David Young on your screen at the moment from the USA. Morning, David. The sun should be rising soon, but it is indeed great to have him in the mix and great to have him on the bike and joining us on the Sunday Race Club. Also in the top 5 last week, Matt Smithson, he took 2nd place. Luke Allport took 5th. That just tells you how short, sharp, fast and punchy it was in that Category 5 race. In fact, that sprint at the end of that race last week, feels like yesterday, 28 riders in Category 5 were separated by 6 seconds. It was superb. I'm not quite sure it's going to be the same today, but do expect a fast ride. Last time we were here, on this 55k Belgium course, it was Qualifier 2 in September. Friedeck took it from Svart, from Neville Ross, Skretting and Joel Warren. Now, a number of those riders have progressed, but a number of those riders still here. So we're in with Marius Fossid at the moment on the bike, in the mix, in the group. And you can see just a little bit of a tour around the screen. The white bar on the top is are the numbers of the rider we are in with at the moment. So Fossid's heart rate, 154. His power, 283 at the moment in the green, meaning he's in the draft. And cadence is 90. So on the screen at the moment, Fossid at the top, and the rider we are still in with. I'm pleased. Look at that, waving in real life, waving on the bike. That's what an emote is used for. Luchko, also a strong rider. He was Category 6 last time we were here in September, and he took 2nd place on the course. So Alexander Luchko could be looking at a great ride here because this is a type of course that suits him. Eben Svart, we've already mentioned, he took 2nd in Category 5 last time we were here. So 3 riders on your screen, 3 strong performances previously or possibly on this course.
And all 3 riders giving us a wave, and I was waving back with ice cream spoon in hand at that moment in time. Thank you very much, Emma, for just covering me. I didn't want my ice cream to melt. Just a little bit of medicine for the throat just before we go into this big race and on the way in.
How do commentators look after their voices? Honey and lemon.
Yep, got
and
that.
Ice cream.
Tick and ice cream. Yep, got that tick. Yep, got all those on the go at the moment, and you can probably hear it in the voice as well. So, in with Luke Kendall, another of the strong riders that we're going to see on the course today. Luke in his pain cave on the left-hand side of your screen from Australia there. Good to see you, Luke. That is now he's going for the jersey. This is a very nice jersey. This is
bright.
It's got Emma written all over it because
it is
not
literally.
No, I'm sure. Well, maybe it does, and we can't see it on screen. But it's very much a very bright, colourful jersey.
I like a bright, colourful jersey,
and of course, a member of the Headband Club as well.
Well, Luke Kendall has it all going for him today, and he's right on the front of the race too.
I don't know if we can get them. You can get a whole range of MyWhoosh goodies in the MyWhoosh shop. Make sure you dive on there. I think there should be a special edition MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club headband.
Oh.
And it should say on it, not just MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club, it should say the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club
Headband
or Headband Club. Yeah.
It should just say Headband Club. SRC Headband Club.
That's the word. That's what we're looking for.
That's what it needs to say.
There we go. Thanks, team, if you make that happen, please. Like anyone's going to listen to me. Let's go on to Category 4. There are next set of riders to go off onto race route because we've got a number of squads. Again, good to see Ride Club Finland. They have 4 riders all finish, oddly enough, and hopefully all going to finish. Pony, Pippinen, Palaka and Tuomi. Taking to race start. Continuing the Scandinavian theme, the level golden squad from Sweden. We have Eric Rimborg. From Norway, we have Ole Sola and Roa Sodi. Now, we have a more international mix on the last of the teams that have got more than 3 riders. 4 riders for BMC Racing. From Chile, it's Daniel Cadiz. From Italy, Enrico Quadrali. From Brazil, Paolo Kirchner. And from the United States, Ryan Giuliano. And if this was a final, I would be saying that is an incredible squad. Cadiz, Quadrali, Kirchner and Giuliano. Now, that is a tough squad to beat, that's for sure. But, of course, they're up against another team. Wes, the WZ squad, Reinheimer, Casa and Graziani, who has been riding well as well.
Well, and it's Golden Boy himself, Eric Rimborg, off the front of the pack at the moment, out of the pen, absolutely dialing it. Robin Clenton, the Canadian rider, and he is riding so strongly at the moment and getting better and better and better, really going well on the climbs as well, doing the chasing. Now, in Category 4, 64 riders on the start sheets. Last week, the top 13 were separated by 2 seconds. Graham Pearce on your screen at the moment. That Yorkshire flag, I'm sure we've seen that before. Katerina Karamani and Graham Pearce sharing the same pain cave for the Sunday Race Club. Great to see.
Yeah, hey up, Graham. Hope you're doing well, mate. He's out there down on the course. I can do the full-on Leeds accent if you really want it, but I'm going to avoid it because we have a multinational, international audience, and if we start going down dialects as well as languages, it's a big rabbit warren of things to cover.
Well, it is. Now, Notari took the win last week from Badal, from Ariev, from Hertz and Fenderich. But yet again, massive sprint last week. In fact, I'm going to say 2 is the magic number because 14 riders were inside 2 seconds of each other. Pulgarin, well, he's another rider who always goes strong, but he's on our screen at the moment. He was 7 seconds back last week.
I bet you he's not 7 seconds back today.
Great riding, great racing.
Indeed, good to see Esteban Bulgarin in there. And for me, one of the things about Category 4 last week and the results in Category 4, whilst they are familiar names, for me, it really was a little bit of a shake-up at the top. Natari, Badu, Arayev, Hertz and Co., Fenderich. Whilst we've seen them be really strong, you're seeing new riders inside the top 5.
Well, you're seeing new riders coming into the Sunday Race Club, and Giacomo Notari, the Italian rider who took the win last week in Category 4, it was his 3rd participation in the Sunday Race Club when he got that win. And, it's fabulous to see. Please do. If you are thinking about coming along and joining the Sunday Race Club, get on board. Now is a great time to head over to MyWhoosh.com, click on the events page, click on the Sunday Race Club, take a look at the technical guide, take a look at the race manual, see what you need to do because you could be here in November. We could be moving the men from 350 riders on the Sunday Race Club towards 400. We could be moving the women from 190 to over that magic 200 marker. James Mountier is on your screens at the moment, and always great to have him on the bike, on the screen, with the canoes, or I see I'm not a boat person. Are they canoes or the kayaks? I don't know. But on the screen in the background, Matt's now laughing in the studio next to me because I'm not sure of my boats. But
you're not an aquatic person, are you?
I don't like water at all. I can swim, but I don't like it. But the Category 4 pack, much rather, solid ground.
So
give me mountains. Give me solid ground. Don't give me that wet stuff.
Whilst Emma's exploring her phobias of water and swimming, etc., the riders are out on the race route. Fortunately for Emma, they are not in her Derry Island, surrounded by water. They are in Belgium, in the heart of Europe, and they're in the heart of the Flanders, the classic country here today. Our 6 race fields taken to that same race route. Our next race start will be the Category 3 squads. Now, a number of teams in here with 3 riders. The WEZ squad with the Mayo, with the Souza and Yannicki. We've got the Pedal Power Racing squad of 3 of Wojciech, Lynn and Gillo. But big squad from Level Golden. A real mix of riders in there because Christopher Morgan, Martin Omdahl, Radek Buczewski, Ricky Lane and Rune Bakken are riding for the Level Golden squad. All names that figure up at the top of the racing, already getting those names in. Let's see what they can do today. It is the 3rd category of riders from our elite. So Category 1, our elites. Category 6, our standard category. It's Category 3, taking to race start in the dark blue jerseys, heading out to cover the race route here in Belgium. Some classic climbs, some great classic riders in here. Walter Clays, the rider we're in with as we leave the race start, and definitely somebody cannot be discounted here. I think he needs the short, sharp hills like we get here. If if there aren't enough punchy sections on the race route, Waterclays doesn't have that advantage
Waterclays.
that plays to his advantages.
Belgium.
Yes.
It's a mix made in heaven.
There you go. You heard it here first.
Yes, but there's a number of other riders for whom Belgium is also seriously strong. Now, Category 3, there are indeed 67 riders. This is our biggest race field today, and Waterclays is the rider we are in with at the moment. Now, there he is. Oh, look at that. And he's got his Belgium jersey on as well. Walter, you are a star. I told you, Waterclays, Belgium, made in heaven.
Indeed. And I have to say, lots of nations changed their jerseys. One of the things I really love about the Belgian team jersey, the national jersey, it doesn't change. It has been that
Classic.
light blue. He's got the black, yellow, and the red bands across. It really is classic. Member of the Headband Club, of course. Big, not all power to Waterclays. In fact, one of the founding members, I suspect.
Well, can I just tell you, in Category 3, when I was looking at the start sheets this week, really made me think 2 is the magic number. We'll come back to that in a minute as Sean Wapples gets. Whoa, that was close.
You were about to call that as being the win.
But he took it, though. I'm sure he did. Yes, he did indeed. So another new rider to the Sunday Race Club. Sean Wapples from the USA, picking up the points from Sebastian Duda, another new rider to the Sunday Race Club, Justin Roy, Carlos Mutato, Bruno Fernandez. Those are the top 5 riders in Category 5 going across the line, but big pack of riders all going over together. 54 riders in that start.
So just seeing those riders go in through just before them, the Category 6 went through that line as well.
Thomas Mirek took Ola Warren on the line.
I know that's something you don't get to say every day. Ola Warren being in the 2, which is your magic number for the day, Emma. So we have Thomas Mirek in 1, Ola Warren in 2, Alex Belikos in 3. We've got Mikhail Kozel in 4 and Antti Javinen in 5. That's
Shall I tell you why 2 is the magic number? 2 is the magic number because last week in Category 5, the top 14, 2 seconds. In Category 4, the top 13, 2 seconds. In Category 3, the top 16, 2 seconds. 2 is the magic number.
It kind of works, but I still like 3. But anyway.
Well, can't help that. But let's just take a little look, shall we? Because in Category 3 last week, it was indeed Mads Buster who took the win from Dorvin Ellos, from Martin Omdahl. Omdahl is doing a phenomenal job on the Sunday Race Club since he's joined. It's been absolutely brilliant to watch. Juan Guarin took 4th, Timothy Brook took 5th. But I can tell you, less than a second separated those top 5 riders. It was that close.
And it was a great finish. I absolutely loved the finish from Buster. He just absolutely smashed it through there, coming through to take away the win. Behind, I mean, it still continues with the who's who there. Got to say, Morten Christiansen riding strongly, going for that long breakaway in towards the finish. So strong riding in Category 3.
Yeah. Now, last time we were in Belgium, this 55-kilometre course, it was indeed Walter Clays who took the win from Almeida. From Fournier, Diduch and Johnson. We've got Karlstrom, Oyer and Rusamaki on our screens at the moment. All of those, looks like we've got some form of Haribo going on there with Henrik Oyer. He's
Excellent.
Fueled strongly already in a great way for the Belgium course. Short, sharp, punchy. Every time you go up a climb, eat a Haribo.
That was going to be a lot of Haribo. I'd go for never mind every time you go up a climb. Every time we say one of the classic phrases that we come out with on the show. Good to see the Finnish and Swedish flags there. The Scandinavian riders contingent. Some of the Scandinavian contingent in here. Will the Viking Raiders be able to take away
you said
the prizes today?
You said 3 is the magic number.
Yeah, go on.
Last time we were in Belgium, 3 seconds separated the top 17 riders in Category 3.
Anyone would think I remember these things every now and then.
You weren't with me. I did that show on my own.
Well, I do watch it as well, you know. It's not if you just because I wasn't putting words to the action doesn't mean I actually think, if I remember correctly, I actually watched the show in another commentary box on the finishing line of the World Championship. So
I think we should focus on the racing.
Well, at the moment we've got a big group of riders going around the right-hand bend. in Category 3. However, in Category 4, we are on the run in towards our sprint checkpoint. So this is going to be really key. Don't forget you can go on to the Chat Some Fantastic Chat on the YouTube channel. That's when we try and keep a check on.
Oh, so funny.
So do keep the funny comments going on there. Definitely good to see it. Now we're coming into this right-hand turn. The sprint really being wound up here. Massive kick over the top, though, as we see Lapera. He gets his timing absolutely correct. Oviedo went for it. Cordrelli goes through, but it's Lapera who's going to take away the win in Category 4 as he goes in over the line. So Lapera in 1, Cordrelli in 2, Oviedo in 3, Ferreira in 4, and Gordon in 5.
Oh, Eric Rimble, Golden Boy, just missing out in 6. Can I just say, one of the things I'm really loving at the moment is the Portuguese contingent as well.
Yes.
Cycle District are really getting their act together and putting squads throughout so many categories. It's fabulous to see.
I think it's really inspirational when you see lots of different riders. Now, we're going to go in with Ryan Dummer, one of our regular riders on the MyWhoosh Sunday race. Good to see Ryan here. Another of our riders who really we see up at the front. We're just seeing an attack on the front here, just coming off the front. I think Ryan Dummer here going to be playing the long game.
The Welsh Dragon is biding his time.
He is indeed.
Well, at the moment, at the 4.5 kilometre marker, there's a big push, and it's Christopher Morgan off the front, backing in 2, Poulier in 3. A real big drive from Christopher Morgan. Take a look at this. Flatland as well. On the top right-hand corner of your screen, you can see that. It's absolutely pan flat. The rider we are in with is the yellow vertical line. You can see the gradient absolutely flat as a pancake. Well, if you've got lumpy pancakes, you've got problems. They've got no lumpy pancakes here. Morgan... Morgan has been joined by Bakken. Will Bakken now come to the front and help out here? Poulier and Petila are the riders doing the chasing.
I wondered how long it would be until we got some kind of baking, cooking reference in here. You went for pancakes in October. I'm not sure that really ties in.
Pancakes are good any time of the year.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Well, Bakken and Morgan still on the front here, but the rest of the pack, look how strong it is behind. Patrick Bloom now joining them at the front to make 4. But Rustamaki, we were in with Mika Rustamaki not very long ago, as one of the riders on our screen. He's part and parcel of that chase. One long line of Category 3 riders. Patrick Bloom, he's in there as well.
And definitely a rider you can't discount at the front of the race. Always going to be in the mix at the moment. You can just see good spin there. The revs, 91 revs per minute, shown on the top right-hand side of your screen. And just a little wave from him, still having the wherewithal to give us a wave, at the same time as dialing it on the front with the front of this group. 5.9k covered. I mean, it's really wound up here to say we've got a long way to that first checkpoint still. And then there's so much climbing, there's so much racing to be had.
Well, a hard race is what the Category 3 riders want today, and that's what they're getting because they are in charge. Well, Josh Power, part and parcel of that group now, as we're seeing, well, the head of the Comet form.
We are indeed. Josh Power top 10 in Category 3 last week. Who's going to be top 10 in Category 2? Because our riders are lining up now. Lots of squads with 3 riders in here today. So I'm going to try and rattle through those pretty quickly. We just talked about Cycling District squad from Portugal. They've got Pinto, Machado and Coimbra. The Gloria Victis squad, Goddardzi, along with Bjorklund, Guerra and Alan Young. We also have the team of the UAE clan team, Mr. X100, Pablo Popovic and SS in there as well. Whilst we're just very quickly talking about them, I want to just put a quick mention to somebody who regularly is riding in Category 2. We've seen in Category 2 for the UAE squads before, and that is going to be a rider who I saw in action yesterday. That's Abdallah Abalouchi, taking top 10 at the World Championships in the Paracycling Track World Championships. He animated the races and went on the attack from the gun. So if this was those championships, he'd literally already sprinted out into the race lead. He animated the racing, came down in a crash, big crash involved a lot of riders, got back up, came back in, and took a 9th place overall. One of the big strong riders for the UAE squads.
And Abolution, you're right, Sunday Race Club.
Sunday Race Club rider. And well done to him. Some real strength to get back up from that crash. And the team behind him from the UAE, I have to say, were amazing because they had the second bike ready. The first, there were bits of carbon fiber everywhere. They got the bike back up. They were ready to go. They got him on the bike. Absolutely brilliantly done. The Colnago out on the track. Brilliant teamwork from the UAE.
Well, Benjamin Brignall, Mikhail Machando, Olivier Simmons and Ivan Nuki on your screens at the moment. Well, this could be a great race for any of those 4 riders. Phil Graves took the win last week. It's a long time since Phil Graves had a win on the Sunday Race Cup. Great to see him back. Mikhail Machando, though, took 2nd place last week in the sprint. Less than a second separated those 2 riders. X100 took 3rd place, and then, well, it was a massive sprint because 2 seconds separated 4th from 21st place last week.
Indeed, some of our great riders on here: Benjamin Brignall, Michel Machado, Ollie Simmons, and Ivan Nuki on the screens. Ivan Nuki, based down in Abu Dhabi, where we were for the women's race, actually on Hadaria Island. If you are going to the World Championships, don't forget you can pick up your tickets. You need a ticket to go to the World Championships. That is going to be just down the road. Really important to make sure that you do register, because although it is free to attend,
you do
need a ticket to get in. So please make sure you go on there. You can get the details. If you subscribe to the newsletters that come out from MyWhoosh, you will get that in an email form as well. But I do want to, please do make sure you can scan the code. And on the 15th of November, get yourself down to the Space 42 Arena down at the Al Raha Beach, and get yourself in. Go watch the best in the world in action.
Well, at the moment, Trojanoski is on the move here with Pardon, Cooper, Simmons, Brignall, Danny's. The pace is on the front of the Category 2 pack at the moment. Popovic is in the mix as well. So is Machando. Pardon, Cooper, though, doing a phenomenal job. Again, one of the newer riders to the Sunday Race Club.
So whether you're new or one of our most experienced racers, the Category 2 racers are very, very quickly up to speed here. Very active already. In fact, we are in with Simon Padakupa at the moment. That Netherlands jersey on his back, that very distinctive orange. Jersey. His compatriot, Hidebur, of the Netherlands, has been riding fantastically too. He's taken medals. He's taken the championship win actually in the paracycling, the Track World Championships, and of course the Netherlands are a real strong hotbed of cycling and cycling esports as well, with some great riders racing. The BMX racing comes from the Olympic Centre, and you'll see plenty of the orange jerseys down there as well. So good to have the riders from the Netherlands on the Sunday Race Club, and I'm sure he knows the roads, although it's not that far from the Netherlands to Belgium, because basically they share a border. It's not just a day's ride across to get from one to the other if you're the far ends of either country. It's still a big way to go, so we'll see if he's got any local knowledge by the time we get to the end of this race. So, as Emma just slowly decides that breathing and
trying to talk at the same time don't work sometimes.
Doesn't work. No, didn't work that time. So let's dive in with Category 1. So we have got our squads. Now, the squads with more than 3 riders already. The Farm Watt squad: Pucker, Noren and Thrall. We have then the Alpha Joe squad: Churek, Vajasin, Kaminsky and Jones. Jones, the previous winner on this course. We've then got the Boss Moves Only squad: Say Safrizadi, Michael Vink, Michael Knudsen and a certain Jason Osborne. Sure, I've heard of him before.
Well, last week, what can I say? But Ollie Jones took the win from Michael Vink and Jason Osborne. You could have thrown a face flannel over them. It was that close. Leonard Tugels, Bjorn Andreasen, Yunfei Wu, Skierski. They all finished within 2 seconds of each other. It was amazing. Away go category 1 from the start pen, but Hayden Pucker as well. Just want to give a shout out to Hayden Pucker. He's getting better and better. Last week, he set power bests on the Sunday Race Cup. He set a 20-minute power best. He set a 5-minute power best. That is a rider coming to form at the right time of year.
But didn't Ollie Jones also set
a 1 minute,
power
power
best as well?
He did as well.
Yeah. So we talk about riders coming into form, and I think there were second best power times in from Osborne and from Vink as well. So
they are all coming to form at the right time. And another rider who'll be coming to form at the right time is Mikhail Kaminsky at the moment. He's on the screen at the moment. He too will be there in Abu Dhabi on the stage. Fabulous riding and racing. Do you know there are 17 riders here in this category 1 race today who will be on that stage out of 22. Kaminsky is one of them. He will be joining Dan Turek, Ollie Jones, Jason Osborne, Michael Vink, Hayden Pucker, Thomas Thrall, Yunfei Wu, Niall Pedersen, Harvard Gledness, Jasper Paradines, Josh Harris, Matthias Van Hee, Paul Skierski, Ricardo Panizza, Ruben Dont, and Stefan Van Elst. All 17 of those are in this race today.
And there will be another few more riders than that. I think is it 22 that will be
22 in
22
total
in the men's race field, with some wildcards being added for riders who weren't able to make it in to our finals by the standard qualification route from the semi-finals. And don't forget, of course, that the riders will be live on stage in Abu Dhabi. As I said earlier on, get those tickets. Make sure that you get there. If you've got the chance to watch a World Championship in person, do so. If not, you could join Emma and myself. We'll be putting words to the action for all of the racing in those finals. Really looking forward to that on November the 15th. And oddly enough, on the Sunday, well, guess where we'll be? We'll be in the Sunday Race Club. Along, hopefully, with Ricardo Panizza and plenty more riders. Now, Ricardo Panizza, we saw him in that run to the finish, really putting a move. Not able to take away the win. But he's a rider who, for me, has been improving on his way in to the finish. For me, what I want to know in terms of Ricardo is, he's improved and he's improved. He's in category 1. He's in with some of the toughest riders. I can't imagine it's going to be long. He's just going to need that right combination of timing, being in the right moves at the right time, and of course it fitting with the rest of his race program, I think, for him to be right at the front.
Well, and I think that's the thing, isn't it, about the Sunday Race Cup, is because we've got to remember the Sunday Race Cup isn't always everything for these riders and racers. Johan Noren, for example, out on the mountain bike racing regularly, balancing cycling esports as well. But Noren at the moment on the front of the race, you've got him on your screen as well. One of those Swedish riders who rides and races really strongly. Now, Noren part and parcel of the Farm Watts squad with Pucker and Thrall. That's an interesting combo, isn't it? Hayden Pucker, the national champion of the USA, Thomas Thrall, the national champion of Canada, Johan Noren in the mix as well.
Do you know off the top of your head, because you might know this, who is the national champion of Sweden? I don't know. I can't tell you. We will find out. And we'll have it in her copious notes somewhere. But while she's busy just making sure she doesn't cough on camera once again, because we have got a lot of breathing and talking going on, I can see our Category 2 bunch coming along the straight here. They're heading towards the archway. It's going to be a left-hand turn at the moment coming up. It's a slight left and then a slight right. So 45 degrees to the left, then a 45 degrees to the right, and then as you make your way around that turn of the right, you can see the 90-degree corner that comes up into the sprint archway, and that sprint archway is going to be a tricky one if you don't know this race route or you're not watching the radar screen. On the top right hand side, another push coming, and it's going to be Olivier Simmons who's starting to move here. He's out the saddle in person on the left hand side of your screen, winding this up, going for a long one here. He's using his speed, his pace to try and move clear and see what he can do here. He's trying to open up the gap. Let's see what he can do. And you've got the chase coming from Mr. X100 here round this 45-degree right-hand turn. And then we've got the straightaway that takes you into the archway for the green sprints competition. Mr. X100 on the front, Olivier Simmons into Brignall in 3. Then you can see Parder Cooper in 4. This is a big push for the line. Emma, this is going to take a big kick to take the win. It went from a long way out.
It did indeed, and Simmons is still on the front here, absolutely dialing it. They're going to come round the corner, but I tell you what, Pardon Cooper is coming, and he's gone over the top of Simmons. Boom! Ah, look at that. Pardon Cooper, rider from the Netherlands, taking Simmons, the rider from Belgium, on the line.
Oh, a Low Countries battle. I love it.
Well, it's not uncommon in the Low Countries to have a battle between the Netherlands and Belgium on a bike, of course. Well, we just like to keep it the same on the Sunday Race Cup because we're here in Belgium. We're on the 55-kilometre course for the men's race today, 436 metres of climbing. And the green jersey goes on to Baden Cooper's shoulders. Simmons in 2, X100 in 3, Kalman in 4, and SS in 5. Those are the riders picking up the points. Now, it's been fast and furious in the Category 2 race, but I'm just taking a double check. 55 riders still in the leading group.
How many?
55.
Oh, just the odds of taking the win against that number are terrible. You really do need to be pushing on there and trying to break that group down, surely.
Well, sometimes the win is being in the race. At least it is for me. We often differ in the commentary box on that one, but
really,
Jody Ockham's in the mix as well here in Category 2. They've just gone through the Burle-Mont sprint, the first of 2 sprints today, but the second sprint checkpoint coming at the 31.6 kilometre marker, which means the riders have got over the Kuterberg climb and the 2 Eichenberg climbs before that sprint checkpoint. So we could well see, well, we might, it changing shoulders.
Well, we might do indeed as we go back in with Category 1. At the moment, it's the Iceman. Well, I was on the ice cream. The Iceman is on the go at the moment on the front of the race. Stefan van Els at the moment attacking this group. Jason Osborne very quickly up to speed here. He knows the danger of Van Els. And at the moment, it looks like Osborne wanting to go with the rider at the moment leading this out from Belgium. Van Els at the moment, the race leader in Category 1. He's got the gap, but who's coming? It's Osborne. Osborne onto the wheels. And look at this. Riders one by one are making the way in. This is going to shed maybe 1 or 2 riders off the back of the main group. And the pressure really coming on. Ruben Dont now on the move, trying to get back across, trying to get himself back in touch here. This is going to take a little bit of doing to get back in to the mix, though, because this is a long push. It's a big attack. And the move here by Osborne going over the top, marking that out, not wanting to let it go, shuts it down. A real shake-up early on as we go in with Yunfei Wu down in that pain cave.
Yeah, we do indeed. And cracking bike is on as well. But the push continues because Wu is driving forward behind the wheels of Pucker. The 2 of them chasing Osborne. They're going to be the riders who get onto Osborne's wheel. Dont, Vujasin, Kaminsky are all coming. But I tell you something, Hayden Pucker's gone straight over the top, and so has Yunfei Wu. Counter move here against Jason Osborne. Osborne now having to sprint again because Wu is part and parcel of this push with Pucker. Pucker is leading this out here. Wu in 2, Osborne in 3. Kaminsky now comes onto Osborne's wheel, looking at the shoulder line. They've still got 700-800 meters to go until they get to the banner. You can see it on the top right-hand corner of your screen. There's a small green banner in the distance. Oh, the pace comes off. The group swells at the front. I'm waiting for Osborne to go again.
Well, I think that was an overall move. I think that was a skirmish in the overall battle, not just a fight for the segment. So as they make their way up around this right-hand turn, they've got a long straightaway, and then we take the right turn where we have the banner over the side of the road and for the sprint segment, and this wind-up is going now. Panizza's gone for a long one. He's looking to get the sneaky move in early, but the problem is they're all watching. Ruben Don has gone on to his heels. Don loves this Belgian course. We've seen him take victories in Category 2 here before. He's now in Category 1 and he's mixing it up with the best in the world. And Panizza and Don have got the gap on the rest of them. Who's going to get it? Don sprints for it. Panizza goes though, and I think it's going to be Panizza who takes it. I'm waiting to see who gets it. It is Panizza from Don, from Skierski, and then it's going to be Tugels and Malostic as they go in through over the line. You can see Panizza taking the segment win in Category 1. It's Pada Cooper taking the segment win in Category 2. It's going to be a win at the checkpoint for Nicholas Fourier in Category 3, for Juan Lepere in Category 4, for Sean Vappels in Category 5, and Thomas Mirek, who takes away the win in Category 6. Big group of Category 1 riders going through there.
Yes.
Was that 21, 22 riders or so?
Was that your estimation?
It was a ballpark guess. I might be a little low, to be fair.
25.
I was low. Yes, 25. Okay. That's not a win for Matt.
No.
No.
Sort of.
I got it close before, but that was definitely not close. Now, just diving in with Category 2 here. We are currently just seeing a move going on the front here from Mr. X100 and Rodrigo Coimbra as well. Coimbra goes over the top at the moment of X100 just on this descent, just making their way down this dip in the course that takes the riders down into towards the Kauterberg climb checkpoint. But we're going to go into this descent. It's a two-step descent. We come off the small climb, which is where we saw the attack go. Then we go into the little descent that brings us back to the plateau. We've got to run across. That's going to be about just under a kilometre. Then a drop down of a K. And then we go along the flat into the climb, the Kauterberg climb, the first of our climb segments. But this course, because of its very nature, because of the twists, the turns, the sharp and short climbs, a tough one to race. At the moment, the gap 6 seconds from Coimbra and Mr. X100 to the green jersey of Pada Cooper, who is in the chasing group there. So at the moment, you can see our two leaders clear at the front, looking like they are going for the breakaway here today. So Pada Cooper with work to do, Simmons with work to do, Machado with work to do, Pinto with work to do. They're all trying to make their way back in touch. Can anybody make it?
Well, the Category 4, 5 and 6 already over the Kauterberg climb, a little bit further ahead. But as we drop in with the Category 2 riders, Pada Cooper on the bottom of your screen, Van Urk on the top. Two riders from the Netherlands, both resplendent in national jerseys. What more could you desire on a Sunday race club? Absolutely brilliant racing, and Pada Cooper, great to see him on the Sunday race.
It is. He's a rider with a real pedigree. The national individual time trial champion in the men's under 23 in 2023, 2024 and 2025. Now, a rider who's ridden a lot of the classic races this season as well. Rode the Only Van Oost in September into the National Gravel Championships. There he was 23rd in the racing. He's a rider who has ridden quite a lot of continental racing and definitely a rider to watch. Only 20 years old, so definitely a lot of talent. New to the Sunday race club, unlike Rick Van Urk, who's got a few more participations.
He does
under his
indeed.
belt.
Rick Van Urk's been with us 32 participations. This is number 33. 3 is the magic number for Rick Van Urk.
I told you 3 is the magic number.
Olivier Simmons, well, he's, look at that, just executing a small tuck on the descent. Thank you, Olivier, for just showing us how that's done. Well, just taking a little bit of hydration on board. Simmons on your screen. He's leading the chase at the moment to the two riders down the road in the Category 2 race. It's a big push on the front, and Simmons, part and parcel of the Category 2 pack, and really pushing on strongly. Tord Allenjung, the rider we are in with at the moment, they're on the descent. They're still chasing the two riders clear as we drop in with Allenjung, but it's not a hugely concerted effort to bring them back in. And while they know that the Kuterberg climb is coming, at 1.6 kilometers of climbing with an average gradient of 4.3%, that's where they're going to pull them back. And Alnyung, part and parcel of that Gloria Victor squad with Godzazi, Bjorkland and Guerra, well, they are going to be waiting the time to go to launch here in Belgium on to that Kuterberg climb. Now, that Kuterberg climb, we said category 4 had been over the top, and they have indeed. Leading them over the top of the climb was Joachim Skretting, Giuliano in 2, Striel in 3, Iglesi in 4, and Pulaka in 5, picking up the points. But now on the Eichenberg duo combination, well, Pulaka is in the mix. Quadrelli is there as well. Arayevi is on the front of the mix. So is Velada. We're going in with Jussi Palaki at the moment. You can see him there, up and out the saddle, dancing on those pedals towards the front of the group. Felipe Marin is ahead of him. So is Pulgarin. The pack split now into 2 main groups. Polaka, well, he's the right side of that split. So category 2 now at the 24.8 kilometre marker. They're coming up closer to the halfway point. They're on the Eichenberg hill and climb duo. Robin Clendenin is in the mix. Strong climber he is. And Andrew Persner on your screen at the moment. He too in that leading group as the stretch is now on. You can see them now coming towards the top of the first climb, the Eichenberg hill. They're going to descend off of the other side, then quickly into the Eichenberg climb. Persner pushing, wanting to stay in the pack, wanting to get into a great position in the race. They're closing down the gap to the rider in 1 at the moment. Rossoli in that group as well. Now, back in with category 1. We've got another attack going off the front, and it's Remy Confession, the Frenchman, who is off the front of the group at the moment, putting in a great ride. The young rider, newer to the Sunday Race Cup, 5 or 6 appearances on the Sunday Race Cup. He's joined us recently, and another young rider coming into the Sunday Race Cup. Fabulous to have our under-23 riders joining the Sunday Race Cup and really putting the mark down for cycling esports and the future of cycling esports. Jason Osborne, the world champion, well, he's now pushing on Pucker, Pedersen, Panizza, Vanhee, Matthias Vanhee, the rider from Belgium. He loves this course in Belgium. It's going to be interesting because I doubt he ever thought he'd be in category 1 racing it right up here, but he's qualified for those World Championships finals. And if you qualified for the World Championship finals, you're a Cat 1 racer on the Sunday Race Cup. Vanhee moving up from Cat 2 to Cat 1 with that performance. Absolutely brilliant in the mix today. There he is on your screen. Vanhee putting in a strong performance here today with Vujasin, Mileur, Paradians, Kaminsky, Dont. They are all in the mix as they are about to hit the descent and then the run into the first categorized climb of the day. So category 1 on the run towards the climb. So is category 2. Category 3 have now gone over the top, and Pavel Gonda is the rider who took them over in 1. David Kowalski went through in 2. Nicholas Trujillo went through in 3. Juan Restrepo in 4. And Henrik Oyer, who we've seen on our screens already today, in 5th, taking 1 point. The Haribo are working.
They certainly are. Good to see the mascots there in front of Cosimo Mangino. Good to see the Italian rider in action at the moment, chasing the leading group. You can see working hard here. Buongiorno, Cosimo. Good to see him in action here on the slopes. Got to keep that rhythm going, keep that pace going. Fantastic to see. That he's got that sense of humour. Always love it when people put something fun in the Pain Cave camera shot. It has to be said. So really good this attack here. Meanwhile, Ola Warren on a move, on a sprint. No surprises there. Miguel Kozel, the rider behind Ati Yarvinen trying to come in. Warren, though, knows he's secure. You can see he's come off the gas already. He's going to roll in to take the sprint points here as he goes in underneath the sprint of the 31.7 kilometre marker. That's the Smedinport sprint checkpoint.
It is indeed. And I think with that, Warren is going to take the sprint competition overall. He was second on sprint number 1, first on sprint number 2, but the rider who was first on sprint number 1, not in the mix in sprint number 2.
Okay, so
I hope you followed that.
I did follow that, and even with bad maths, I can calculate. Yeah, it is Warren's. And if I didn't even have the bad maths, he has got the green skin suit as the leader, and we have no more sprints to go.
We do, but you never know. Someone could have come through for 3rd, 4th, or 5th.
Indeed,
but it wasn't. Ola Warren taking the 5 points, Mikhail Kozel taking 4, Antti Järvinen taking 3, Adrian Janowski taking 2, and Michael Coopers taking 1.
So that is the sprint competition done in Category 6. Category 5 yet to reach that point. We were just talking about our climb segment for Category 3. Emma, should we go through Categories 4 and 5 on that climb segment? Oh, sorry, you did that, didn't you?
I did.
I'm just having a bit of a bad brain moment.
You are. You need more ice cream. Or does that not affect your brain? Or is that frozen your brain?
Maybe it's frozen my brain and I need more coffee. I think there's some of that somewhere around. Jonathan Cridland, I wonder whether he's on the coffee. He is at the moment having a very nice rhythm. And Jonathan Cridland, definitely a rider to watch here today as he makes his way down in this group. I think we could see Cridland going on the attack as we come in towards the finale. Potentially the Valkenburg could be the race today. You know, the Valkenburg climb, critical point, it's only, it's less than 6 kilometres to the finish from there. That, for me, is a better breakaway point than we saw the one taken by Coimbra and Mr. X100, because they really have set the work out for themselves. They're on the way up the climb, though, at the moment coming up the Göteborg, and it looks like it's going to be Coimbra who's going to take away 5 points. It'd be, I was going to say Mr. X100, it's not. Ivan Yuki's rolled him there on the line.
Rolled him on the line.
Well, Yuki rolls Mr. X100 as he goes in over the line on the climb. Let's get the confirmed results for you. So the confirmed results, taking the top points, it is Coimbra taking 5, Mr. X100 taking 4, taking 3, Stuart Miller and Ivan Nuki taking 2 on the Göteborg climb. And those are the points as allocated at the moment. I think there might be a little bit of a check back, because I'm sure I saw Ivan Nuki go over the top there and take away better than 4th place. But we will see. It may be readjusted. These things do happen because, of course, the checks that are there to make sure that not just our riders are riding, but that all of the data is picked up mid-game. Ivan Nuki on the left-hand side of your screen, the inspirational coach, is there motivating riders day in, day out down at Hedaria, and the amazing home of the Abu Dhabi Bike Club, the cycling club, doing an amazing job week in, week out, making sure that riders get that support and able to head out on to the world's stage with plenty of support for them as they go and head out to that support key, that inspiration key. Our coaches doing a wonderful job. The volunteers out and around the globe, the coaches, all of those people who make the racing happen. A big thank you to them. Just like we have to thank the people behind the scenes at MyWhoosh. Without MyWhoosh, the platform in the game, we wouldn't be able to bring you this fantastic racing. Category 2 at the moment, big pack of riders. Betty in the mix here from Brazil. Giselle, Ricardo, Betty. Just taking a little bit of a look. Good to see him here today. I'm sure he's one of our fluent Portuguese speakers. For anybody who is watching the women's show, just to let you know, indeed, the standard language in Brazil is Portuguese. In Colombia, because that was a question in the show, I'm going to answer it now. In Colombia, it is the standard language is Spanish, but there's a lot of languages spoken in Colombia. There are 65 versions, and please forgive me if I murder the pronunciation of this, but the Amerindian language is responsible for 65 versions of the language, and that's actually the native language of the various people who were originally there before the Europeans came over.
Did you ask Mr. Google?
Might have done. I don't know that. But well, no, actually, I did actually ask, and I have to say, it is a site that's going down in my favourites. It is Translators Without Borders.
Ooh. Well, the Category 2 race that they're coming up for the 22-kilometre marker. Now, we know 2 is the magic number, so 22 is two twos. PFL and Camille Danes, 2 French riders right next door to each other. Again, 2 is the magic number. But Godzarski, Koinsonen, Gombe, Velez, Jochem's Theme, Guerra, all in the mix in Category 2 in that front bunch. The Category 1 race are coming to the top of the first climb. Big move, you can see at the moment, but the pack is riding really strongly. We're in with line with Yasin at the moment. Harris is there as we go into the Yasin's pain cave and see him dancing on those pedals. Milostic is there, Knudsen is there, Jones, Confession, Van He, Pedersen. The group are all together at the moment. Who's going to pop the nose in the wind to take the points for the polka dots?
I think that's a question for a little bit further up this climb, i.e. the last sort of 5 meters, because it really is tough. The first move's just starting to go, though, and it is Mikhail Kaminsky who goes, but no surprises to see the world champion answering. Jason Osborne looking to close the gap down. He goes up on the right shoulder of Kaminsky. They're side by side on the road, and Osborne now going over the top. Skierski, he wants a piece of the action as well as they make their way up here. They're looking for that polka dot banner, the archway going over the road, the white background, the red dots. At the moment, it's looking like Osborne, but this is a huge kick coming from Paradines. Paradines is coming at pace. He's got the power. He's left it a little too late to take away the maximum points, though, because at the top of that first climb, it's going to be Jason Osborne from Jasper Paradines. They're your 1, 2 so far. Just waiting for the update. I think it's going to be Don, Jones, and Kaminsky rounding out the points in Category 1.
It is indeed. Now, let's just take a look at the Kuterberg climb. Jason Osborne leading through Category 1. Rodrigo Cumbra leading through Category 2. Pavel Gonda led through Category 3. Joachim Skretting led through Category 4. Tavi Matilla led through Category 5. And Gregor Gasiek led through Category 6. Well, Jason Osborne putting in a dig of 13.3 watts per kilo at the top of their climb to take the polka dots.
So we're going to move from the section just watching across to Category 6. We're going in with Ivan Stanev. Now, Stanev here, riding very strongly indeed. One of our newer riders on, and another rider with a view into the pancake. Great to see you here today. Even Stanev at the moment, just tapping out the rhythm at the moment. And you can just see the weights bench just in the background as well. Nice riding at the moment by the rider here in Category 6 as he continues to push here. So just watching these riders making their way in and through, and at the moment as the riders continue out on race route, just a little bit further up the road, Brett McMurtry and Antti Järvinen have got 23 seconds now on Wojciech Skierski, 24 Montoya. Gibson's in that chase group, so is Gacek. Kozel is in there as well. The Claremont climb is here. It is set to test the riders. Antti Järvinen now in the pain cave. The lights are on in the background. The big question for me is going to be, can he keep this pace going all the way to the front? It's not the world's longest climb.
No. 2.2 kilometres with an average gradient of 4.2%, but the first section is so steep because then it levels and kicks again. So a 2-staged climb, but Järvinen right at the front. And can I tell you, every time we go in with Järvinen, with the lights in the background, I'm inspired to make my pain cave a little bit better.
It is somewhat functional. Your pain cave.
Yeah, well, it shows you how beautiful a pain cave can be. Well, Antti Järvinen dancing on the pedals at the moment, right at the front of the race. Brett McMurtry on his wheels, 30 seconds back to Bachowski, who is leading the chase behind with Skierski. The Category 6 riders absolutely dialing this, the 37.2 kilometre marker. On the right-hand side of the screen, the Category 5 riders are about to come in to the same climb. Big group. Well, big group. One Category 6 rider they've swept up into the mix, but it is indeed a big group of Category 5 riders going into the base of the climb together.
And the Clermont climb, 2.2k, not long by most climb standards, but when you're on the roads of Belgium, my goodness me, do you know about it? From the top of the climb, there's the long plateau, a slight riser before you drop down to the final climb of the Valkenberg, and then it's the last just under 6 kilometer run into the finish. At the moment, Category 5, the second set of leaders on the road, the Category 6 leaders further down the road. Points to be scored here in the KOM competition, the Kutterberg, the first of our climbs, followed by the Quermont, followed by the Valkenberg climb. But at the moment, as we watch these groups going in, it's still group racing. Big bunches, not really seeing those small groups going as yet. And there's still plenty of racing to be had here, I think.
Well, there is indeed, and there's a big push off the front of the Category 4 race at the moment at the 34-kilometre marker. Johan Moreno decided it was just too much of a steady state, and what he didn't want was the group behind to make the clutch and close it down and make the group swell. So Moreno pushing on the front, Neville Ross paying attention, Cesar Iglesias is there as well as Attiponi, all in the mix. Rossoli is there too, but the pack behind, well, they're looking a little bit happier to keep that slower, steadier pace. Moreno, well, could get away.
And this is a tactic that Moreno has used for a long, long time now. One of our most experienced riders on the Sunday Race Club. Will this be the case that he can make this stick? It's a big, big ask with the quality of race fields that we see. But he's chose his moment wisely. He knew he was coming up onto that group as they make the way through. Moreno just continuing to push. He's right up there. I remember Johan Moreno racing from pretty much the moment I started putting words to the action on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club, and that was way, way back. You know, we're talking 4 years ago now.
We are talking 133. That's the number of participations he's had if you include today.
Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant riding. Fantastic to see. And looks like at the moment, plenty of riders still in the pack in Category 3. Nicolas Fournier riding well at the moment. Definitely a rider on form as Fournier tucks nicely into this group. Here, the Frenchman at the moment just trying to make sure that he's fueled up for the finale that is still to come. He's at 32 kilometers at the moment. Meanwhile, going back across into Category 2, Michel Machado, the one of our irrepressible attacking riders, has got another of those riders that we could almost guarantee will go on the offensive, and that is SS with Machado. So Machado in the pain cave on the left-hand side of your screen. That's shot with the red wall in the background. The Portuguese rider on the ascent with the rider from the UAE, from the United Arab Emirates at the moment. SS with the traditional blue bike, the blue bandana that he has had all the way through. And if there was a prize for having the same kit all the way through to make our lives just that little bit easier,
makes him recognisable, doesn't it?
It does indeed. That personalisation really working. So SS on the attack on the break, very quickly joined here by Olivier Simmons. So Simmons, SS, and Machado. That's a dangerous trio coming into this Eichenberg complex.
It is indeed, and they are coming into. Is it complex? Well, that's quite a nice little phraseology for it, isn't it? A nice name. Concayan in here as well. Now, Concayan could go well today. Another rider for whom this punchy style of racing really works. Jamie Cahill is here as well. They're all in. It's such a big leading group in the Category 2 race at the 28-kilometre marker. They are over half distance. They are coming into what is the decisive part of the race, and Carl Cairn on your screen at the moment. Real look of concentration on Cairn's face, part and parcel of the group. There's a push going on the front and a response now required. Being towards the back of the group may be great coming in on the draft, but what you don't want to do is miss the move on the front.
And when you've got such a big group of riders, very difficult to see what's happening at the very front. Meanwhile, at the very front of the Category 1 race, the world champion has decided time to make a move. He's at the 25.6 kilometre marker. So going over the top of the Eichenberg hill before the Eichenberg climb. This for me, very much a way to break clear and to solo to victory. He's got 10 seconds, I think, on the nearest rider behind him, which is Pucker. And then Pucker at the moment leading the charge in the main group, but the group has already split with a number of riders detached from the front of the race here. But now realistically out of contention. If you're not in this group or ahead of it, in the case of Jason Osborne, you're not going to be there. And that is real action when we are at the 26-kilometer marker. And to put that into context, we're not halfway.
Not quite.
Nope.
But
I'm just showing off some math skills.
Well done. Ike Morello is in the mix. So is Josh Harris, Niall Pedersen, Yunfei Wu, Pavel Skierski, Thomas Thrall. They are all in this chase group at the moment, and the rider they are chasing is the rider down the road, and that is Jason Osborne. Now, one of the things about the course in Belgium, lots of twists, lots of turns, lots of short, sharp climbs, lots of corners, which means when you are in a breakaway like Osborne is, 12 seconds takes you out of sight and out of mind.
It does indeed, and that is absolutely critical. It is so true. So at the moment, the riders on race routes, you can see Category 1 on the left-hand side of your screen, Category 2 on the right-hand side of your screen, making the way on to the climb. SS just at the front of the group on the screen on the right-hand side. Well, 5 riders in their paying case, 5 absolutely class athletes at the moment. Jones, Vujasin, Wu, Panitsa and Skierski looking strong at the moment, looking like they are going to be able to battle it out. But for what positions? That's the question, because Osborne is down the road. Pucker at the moment ahead of Jones. They're ahead of Vujasin and Kaminsky. You can see the fractures starting to form, the gaps starting to open. And it's all about now about when do you make your move? Where do you make your move? At what point do you think this is going to go? The move is going to stick and I need to go with it. Or can I be a little bit more conservative, hold my powder, keep it dry a little bit longer before igniting it and exploding off down in pursuit? What do you need to do? That is going to be the question. Do you need to go with this move of Pucker and Jones, or do you wait?
Well, I'm nodding in response to your question. I think you need to
go
go with the move.
It was an either-or question. You can't say yes to an either-or question. We can.
I think you need to go with the move.
You do.
But Jones at the moment, you know, one of the things about watching Ollie Jones when you watch him in his pain cave, he makes it look effortless. He really, really does.
Apart from when he's sprinting, then it's not effortless.
Yeah,
I'm going to disagree with you. When he's sprinting, he definitely does make it look effortless.
I'm not sure. I just think he has such fabulous cadence and he just makes it look easy. But Jason Osborne at the moment in one. Osborne, Wu and Pucker. Skierski as well. And Jason and Osborne about to have company because Ollie Jones is about to close the gap down and come up onto his wheel. Yunfei Wu is the rider behind, and he's the rider who may well make contact. Skierski is pushing too. Now the rider's really trying to close down the gaps. Look at this. This is a battle royale out on the streets of Belgium at the moment. Jones comes up over the top, taps Osborne on the shoulder, says, "Hello, mate, I'm here." Over the top he goes. Yunfei Wu comes up to his wheel as well. Pavel Skierski in the mix too is going to come into contention. We're going to see a group of riders go over the top of the Eichenberg climb together. Well, Osborne put the power down. Jones closed the gap.
And Wu is there, Vujasin is there, Knudsen is not far off getting back into the group here, Kaminsky in touch. This really, to me, has shown that we have got a real battle on our hands here today in Belgium as the riders make their way through. A quick reminder for you, the Eichenberg Hill and the Eichenberg Climb, not part of the climbs competition. The segments that are part of that competition are the Koterberg Climb, the Quermont Climb, and the Valkenberg Climb. They are the only 3 climbs. These ascents, whilst they are testing the riders, they are not going to give them any more points or any segment prizes, any checkpoint prizes. There's this is purely for the overall win that the riders are making these moves in there. As we take a look across 4 of our race categories, right hand side of the screen at the bottom, that is category 6. On the bottom left hand side, category 5. Top of the screen is category 2, and then category 1. So our race leaders in category 1 at the moment on their way through the Eichenberg complex. That is about half a race distance. Category 6 at the moment, well, they are well down the road at 42.8 kilometers. So remember, this is a 55-kilometer course. We're going to take a real look in, and let's focus in on the right-hand side of this course profile, because with the leaders in Category 1 now making the way away from the Twin Peak climb that is not categorized, they have the Smeddenport sprint checkpoint, but then we come into 2 very similar climbs. They both are a 2-step climb. You've got the big daddy of them. You've got the Claremont climb at the front, and then you've got the mini-me version of it in the Valkenburg climb. 2.2k for the Claremont climb. It's only 1.4 for the Valkenburg climb. Both have a smaller step up at the top of the climb. And the reason for that is actually, if my memory serves me correctly, they're both on a very similar shaped ridge, actually out in the Flanders region. And basically, what happens is you come up the main bank out from the river valley, and it's a steep climb. And that's actually the coupled section normally. And then you go over, it levels a little bit, and then there's a final kick onto the ridge, onto the plateau. In the case of the Claremont, you drop down off the other side here. On the Valkenburg, you actually continue up along the ridgeline as the ridgeline ascends.
You do indeed, and well, that's why it is as it is.
It is what it is. Indeed, that's the course profile. But for me, the big thing there is that we have got 2 big potential breaking points in the Claremont and the Valkenburg to come in quick succession. Very little recovery in between, short descents that don't give you a massive rest. And we're going to see that when these riders go in, because we're in with category 6 on the right-hand side of your screen. They're the leaders on the road at the moment. Now, as you can see, at 44 kilometers, they're already now over the Claremont. They've done the first of the big climbs. At 42.4, you can also see that the riders in Category 5, the leaders of Category 5, are over that climb. They're currently on the plateau of the first of those 2 plateaus.
Well, the sprint now is Skierski versus Jones at the moment, and Skierski pushing on. Jones about to pick it up, but Skierski, getting rolled by Jones on the line. But Paul Skierski picks up the green skin suit.
For the moment, we're just going to have to see who's going to come through to take the points. Because this race is broken up, I think this is really going to change the makeup of the green jersey. Jones going through there. Interesting to see that Parda Cooper goes through in Category 2, putting in a phenomenal performance there. Christensen in Category 3, Lepera in Category 4, Tisanu again in Category 5, and then Warren in Category 6, taking away that checkpoint prize.
Yeah, and in Category 1, Pavel Skierski was indeed 3rd in Sprint 1, 2nd in Sprint 2. Combined points give him the green skin suit and the sprint competition.
So he will take that win away, because those are the 2 checkpointers that are part of the sprint competition. The final sprint, and I'm sure it will come down to a sprint in at least 2 or 3 of our race categories. That is the finishing line at 55 kilometers. We're in Category 2 in with Nathan Guerra at the moment. He's got Phil Graves for company. Benjamin Brignall just behind him. Camille Davies, Massey Mendakowicz in that group. A real big pack making their way up, and we're just in with Nathan Guerra at the moment. Nathan riding very, very strongly at the moment on really, so I think, the form of his life.
It's absolutely fabulous to watch, and he really is riding strong. We're in with him in his pain cave at the moment. He's got Danny's and SS with him. They're chasing Graves and Mundell. They are just slightly up the road. It is stretching now on the front of the Category 2 race. They're at the 35.3 kilometre marker. It is about to go up. They're about to hit the Claremont climb. They're not there yet, and the attack has gone already.
Well, no surprises to see one or two riders making it a long one. Massive Mendakowicz looking to try and close the gap down, looking to bring the group back together. He's just in this pack at the moment, taking a bit of a breather between chasing efforts. And at the moment, I think we're going to see Mendakowicz looking to be in touch, going up over the top of this climb. So the riders on to this run in. You can see the Long Valley Road taking them in and going to come up on to the climb here. So the moment is Massive Mendakowicz, the rider we're in with. The riders up the road continue to push Mr. X100 on the attack in that breakaway at the front in category 2, coming on to what is going to be a very decisive part of the climb here in category 2. At the moment, the riders making their way out on race route. Bruce Bird, well, he's a man that you can always expect to be in the breakaway. Meanwhile, just taking a little bit of a look, because this is the run coming up over the top here. They're going to come off the end of the summit of the Valkenburg. They've gone through the top of the climb of the Quermont. This is the run it takes them. It's the summit before they drop down, I think, at 44.8. They're going to drop down to the Valkenburg climb and then kick again. Category 5 leaders at the moment. Homer, Wang, Young, and Brown really pushing on here as they make their way through here. A good gap they've opened up there. This is basically the plateau section just on the end of the Quermont climb before the descent down straight into the Valkenburg. But the moment this group of 3, well, it's going to be 4 riders are going to see the rest of that group coming behind. Category 5 big group still in contention. So just in with Steinholm at the moment in category 5, bottom left-hand side of your screen, right-hand side of your screen. Ati Yarvin has gone on the attack. He's down in that aero top position in category 6. The rider furthest down the road at 47.1 kilometers. He has got the gap to everybody else. You can see them chasing harder behind him, trying to pull the gap back. The category 4 leader, Johan Moreno, still solo. Top right-hand side of your screen, Raw Solid, the nearest rider to him. The gap, it's down at about 14-15 seconds at the moment from Moreno to the chasers behind him. Meanwhile, Pavel Gonda still looking good in category 3. He has got a gap back to the rest of the category 3 races of about 20 plus seconds. So a good gap for Solly, a good gap for Moreno. It looks like a decent gap at the front of the race as we come down through, but riders all over the road here as the groups come back in towards our finish. Remember, our final climb coming at, well, it kicks off at 47.8k, finishes at 49.2 kilometers, and then we have the run to the finish. And the climbing isn't over when you get to that climb checkpoint on the Valkenburg climb. And that is not the top of the climb at all. There is a long false flat. It looks on the profile like it's flat. It certainly isn't. It still has a gradual gradient and then a little bit of a kicker at the end of that plateau before the drop down into race finish. Category 3 together in with Walt Glaze, the man who we know can take away victory in Belgium. Christopher Morgan still in that group. Definitely worth a watch. So is Wojciech. Lewis Ridley in the pack. Bloom in there. Kowalski, Oya. It looks like a huge group at the moment and making the way through the 42.8 kilometer mark. Now, that is a dangerous group. That is going to be best part of 30 riders strong. And that means that these riders really do need to get some sorting out done. It's going to be a real lottery. And it looks like another move going off the front of this group of category 3 riders at the moment at the 43 kilometer marker. There is the rise up at the end of the plateau of the Quermont climb. You got other Quermont climb, drop down a little bit, then the long plateau. Climb to come off the top of the plateau and into the descent. It's coming up. You can see the gradient coming in on the right-hand side of your screens. And at the moment, Gonda Power looks like Bushawski are going to make contact, and Bloom not far away. This is going to bring the rest of the group come back in. At the moment, it's Gonda who's clear at the front on his own in that polka dot skin suit. He's literally, though, just round this left-hand bend. He's almost in sight all the time around this bend. The tight bend not tight enough to take him out of sight. And the pressure that's being applied at the moment, well, it certainly is doing some damage behind, but what have they got? They're going to hit that climb after this long straight. That's going to really test the legs as they come in. Category 3 with Gonda leading. The gap back to Bushawski, Bloom and Power. That's it. Home on his way. Mohammed Al Case, quiet so far, but always in the right place here in Category 3. Definitely a rider to watch here. Paradise in here, Marquez in here, Gillo is in here as well. Just taking a little bit of a look. Restrepo in here too. So Category 3 at the moment, making the way in. At the moment, they are on their way through. Let's see what's going to happen. So just taking a look across, we're going to go dive in with our Category 2 rider. That is Nathan Guerra, who's in. He's on the left of your screen in the light blue here. So a real mix of nations here. We've got from China, Yunfei Wu, who's riding in Category 1. Nathan Guerra from the United States of America riding in Category 2. We've got Ugandan rider Ivan Nuki, who is based in Abu Dhabi in the Middle East. And we've got Andrew Neville Ross from Australia. He's in and racing as well. And Antti Järvinen from Finland. So we've got represented Asia, Americas, we've got Africa, we have got Oceania, and we've got Europe represented by those 5 riders on your screens at the moment. And that's brilliant to see. It shows you the spread of nations. It shows you the spread of continents that the riders represent here on MyWhoosh. A truly international race being raced out in front of our eyes on MyWhoosh at the moment when we're just in with the leaders, though, in Category 6. Leader on the road is Xavier Maillard, 10 seconds up the road from that chasing group. So Maillard with the gap in Category 6. What can he do about this? What can he make happen here? You can see on your screen Category 6 at the moment, the furthest riders down the course. So Category 3 at the 45-kilometre marker. Category 2 at the 40k marker. 49 kilometres covered for Category 5 leaders. Category 6 leader at the 50.4 kilometre marker. He's over the top of the Valkenburg climb. Over the top of the climb of Category 5 as well. The last climbs are done. Emma, do you want to give us a roundup of positions at the top of the Valkenburg climb?
I can. Should we start with Category 6? So Xavier Maillard led through Category 6, Gashek in 2, Bachowski in 3, Vazanen in 4, and Warren in 5. In Category 5, it was Zenkum Wang going over in 1, Justin Roy in 2, Tavi Matilla in 3, Daniel Thiem in 4, and David Young in 5.
And a little bit of a gap from Wang and Roy back to the chasing group. Only a couple of seconds separating at the top of that climb, but that group coming back together. Category 6, the leaders with the most race distance covered on the right-hand side of your screen. On the left-hand side of your screen, you can see Category 1 at the moment, currently with a lot of race distance to cover. And just in with Yunfei Wu at the moment. looking pretty smooth as he comes round here, just tracking that back wheel of the polka dot skin suit wearer, and that is Jason Osborne. Woo on that Colnago by the Y1 Super Aero bike. Emma commented on it earlier on in the show. A absolutely phenomenal aero bike, super rigid as well, gets lots of power transfer through. You love your Colnago, don't you?
Yeah, but I've got a V3.
Nothing wrong with a V3.
No, I know there isn't. It's absolutely wonderful. I absolutely adore it, and absolutely all the way.
And
Absolutely.
So, absolutely. And you absolutely recommend it to lots of people.
Absolutely.
There's
Absolutely.
been a number of people who've bought the very same bike, in fact, that you know, based on your recommendation. So you clearly do love it that much. And Yunfei Wu on the aero version of the Colnago, that is the Y1, a very distinctive frame design, and ridden to plenty of victories already. And interestingly, and we didn't mention it, it was the UAE team who took victory in the gravel championships on a Colnago, with Florian Vermeesch taking victory, because that was actually after the last Sunday race club. And the UAE clan team, with rider after rider, packing out the front of that gravel world championship men's race.
Well, at the moment in that category 1 race, it's a 20-second gap that the leading group of 5 have got. Osborne, Jones, Skierski, Wu and Knudsen.
In the category 2, a racer, Maciej Mendakowicz, now goes on the offensive. We saw him earlier on, tucked into the group, not wanting to pick up the pace too much at the moment. Mendakowicz looking like he's got that little bit of a gap. He's on the offensive. He's going in towards the climb. And for me, this is about making it a longer, tougher effort for everybody. Mendakowicz crouched low over the bars in person. The avatar out of the saddle, but look at the group behind. That is a fearsome bunch. It's being led by SS of the UAE clan team. He's got Berlin in there for company. Kaplinski moving up, looking to take the group back. So is Bruce Bird. Bruce Bird, very active today.
Yeah.
Definitely a rider to watch coming into the finish.
He's often an active rider, and we really do see him make the most of, any situation that comes his way. And actually, I say that, he makes the situations come his way as well. And the category 2 pack at the 43.4 kilometre marker, they've still got some way to go. Jan Jesbeck on our screens at the moment, dancing on those pedals, making sure he's covering the moves and is in the right place.
Well, he certainly is in the right place at the moment, holding the wheels, making sure that they don't let that gap go. Jan Jesbeck on your screens, looking to take this group right the way up to the race winner, looking to take away victory here in Belgium. Van Urk in this group, Cahill in here, Skierski, Danny's in here. And this very strong Lucas Halem coming back into form. Halem hadn't been well back, coming back to some form once again. Benjamin Brignall nicely out the saddle there. You can just see Brignall holding the wheels of Halen and co. Meanwhile, up the road, the leaders gap, it's still hovering. It's not a race-winning gap
at
as
the
yet.
moment.
Yeah, what this group does is going to be so critical. For me, the winner's going to come from this group coming up to the leaders. But if they hesitate, they're going to be in trouble, and that prediction definitely won't come true, because the problem is that they'll run out of road. They'll run out of road to bring back the race leader. Category 2 on the battle, and the battle on the right-hand side of your screens. On the left-hand side, well, it looks like Jason Osborne is having it handed to him at the moment by Yunfei Wu. Wu at the moment on the run into the climb, out of the sort of kicking down hard. Osborne looking to respond to that. Jones is there. Pavel Skierski is there. But at the moment, they're at the 42-kilometre marker. The leaders on the road at the 53.7K marker. Xavier Maillard went clear. He now knows that he is on that run to the finish, and he needs to keep pushing to stay clear. Category 5, sweeping riders as they come, but they're at the 52-kilometre marker. I don't think they're going to pull him back.
No, well, Xavier Maillard's got 800 metres to go until he sees the finish line. He's off of the descent, and he's now on the flatlands. He's going to run towards the finish line, and I have to say it's going to have to be something big and special from the group behind to catch him, because Maillard has watched, he's looked, he knows what's happening. He's got 550 metres to go, and now he's launching and pushing. He's driving towards the line. He doesn't want them to catch them, but Can he stay clear? Well, a little bit further behind, David Young is doing the catching because Loxley and Holm are trying to break away. Young trying to catch it down, but right now it's Category 6 driving for the line.
And look at this, Category 6, Rennie Olsen. They're going over the top. Arego has gone as well. Bachowski's gone. Kuipers has gone. They all want the kick to the line. The battery's on its way here. Arego now comes. He's got 9.8 watts per kilo. Bachowski's trying to take him. Will he take him on the line? No, he won't. It's going to be Arego from Bachowski, from Olsen, from Warren and Gibson, and a Truba. Not necessarily in the order. I'm going to add that in. Let's get a check back. Emma, can you just give us the confirmed results? Bachowski clear with Arego there at the front of that race. Olsen closing.
Yes, so Sebastian Bachowski takes 1, Julio Arego takes 2, Rennie Olsen takes 3, Ola Warren takes 4, and Brent Gibson took 5th spot there. That was one massive sprint and 2 seconds separating the top 10.
And as we take the run down in, we've only 600 metres left in Category 5 as well. As they're coming through, the speed that these riders are covering the distance, we're having to watch for the moves that little bit early. They're going on the descent. At the moment, you can see we've got Loxley and Holm leading this out. Cridland is behind. Loxley's gone for a long one. He knows that it's a flat run down into the finish. It's a left-hand turn, and then that gantry comes quick. But look at this, Joel Warren sprinting his way up. Lipka's coming, so is Swart, so is Arsenio, so is Cadabona, all with big power, big watts. Have they got the kick to beat Warren? Warren continues to push. They're coming on his shoulder, but surely this is going to be Joel Warren who takes victory. Arsenio in 2, Swart in 3 as they come in over the line. A fantastic victory. In fact, Swart just being pipped by Fossiet. So Warren taking the race victory. Arsenio pushing him all the way, the nearest rider to him, behind Fossiet, Svort, and Lipka round out the top 5. But that was a big group coming in.
1 second separated the top 11 riders there. That was amazing. Joel Warren picking it up from Alex Aseno, Marius Fossiet in 3, Eben Svart in 4, Josh Lipka in 5, Cadabona, Theme, Siddle, Loxley, and Cridland round out the top 10. Wow. That just shows you what happens when you go long. It doesn't always work.
It definitely does. And just watching the riders on the way over the top here in Category 4, because it's a long attack. So Bulgarian went over the top. So that last little riser that is after the Valkenburg climb, steep Valkenburg climb segment, final climb segment, then that false flat riser that takes you across the top of the ridge, a little peak to go up, and then the drop down going over the top. Bulgarian's gone for this. He's now down in the tuck. He has got a fractional gap to Balaka, to Fenderick, to Sanchez, as well as last week's winner, Natari, who is still in the mix here. And the group come down. They're going to come mobbing past the leader, Bulgarian. If he's not careful, he comes out of the aero tuck on the right-hand side of your screen. They are on their way down that section, left-hand side of your screen, just coming into that little peak at the top of the plateau. The Category 3 leaders, they've some way to go. Category 4, though, they are going to make this run, and it's going to be interesting to see. 1 kilometre left to go for Category 4. At the moment, just over 2.5 kilometres left for Category 3. Category 2, well, they've got 7K to go. And Category 1, well, that's going to be what is 9.2K. I even get the thumbs up for correct maths from my co-host, Emma Martin, Professor Emma Martin, statistician extraordinaire, and somebody whose maths is far better than mine, I have to say.
Well, Category 4, it's a huge group of riders coming in with 500 metres to go. Sanchez, Pony, Hernandez. Hernandez launches first.
So Hernandez has gone first, but will he make it stick? 11 watts per kilo. He's gone out. Natari's gone at 14.5, though, looking to close down. So has Fenderich. That's the big kick as they accelerate up. Hernandez holding the front. Natari, last week's winner, looking to make it 2 out of 2. He goes over the top. Has Hertz got an answer? Has Hernandez got an answer? The answer will be no. Natari goes through. Giacomo Natari takes victory on qualifier race number 3 in Category 4. The rest of the group sweep in behind him, but Natari 2 out of 2. Well done, sir. Yeah. That is absolutely fantastic.
It is indeed. So Giacomo Natari taking the win here in Belgium from Julian Hertz, Paolo Kirchner, Alberto Hernandez, and Wilson Fernando.
being followed over the line by Velada, Fendrich, Moreno, Soleil, Sanchez, Miller taking away the polka dot skin. So, in fact, category 4, since our winners come in, a further 26 riders have come over the line, and they still coming in thick and fast. It shows you just how fast it is. Meanwhile, Category 3 leaders on the descent at the moment. Berchowski, the rider who has gone off the front of the group, looking to make it stick with David Badil. At the moment, the two riders going clear. You've got Berchowski, the Polish rider, Badil, the rider from Czechia on the front. Karlstrom, though, playing the smart game, taking the rest on the descent. The long move has gone. The chase is behind. Can they do this? That is a big ask. 3-4 seconds. It's not going to be enough. Or is it?
Well, Fournier is there in that green sprinter's skin suit, while Teclays is also in the mix. He's a man who always gets his timing right in Belgium. Maximilian Stedman is there as well as Juan Quiros. The riders are now coming, and Quiros. Omdahl has opened up a sprint at 15 watts per kilo to close the gap down with 400 metres to go.
And Omdahl down coming on the wheel. Karlstrom himself chasing it down. The early leaders is just Berchowski up at the front at the moment, looking like he's going to get mobbed as they come in. Berchowski has got a final kick, but is it going to be enough? Omdahl's gone over the top. Now comes Gonda. Gonda in that polka dot skin suit. He can climb. He can sprint. He takes the race victory here today. Pavel Gonda takes away the win in category 3 from Gilberto Marquez. Walter Clays on the podium as well, taking 3rd place. Omdahl in 4th, Oya in 5th, and the sprint winner, Morten Christiansen, taking 6th place. Meanwhile, behind, Fournier inside the top 10, along with Quiros Chigillo. Guarin rounding out the top 10, but that is a huge group of Category 3 riders, 3 being the magic number. 33 riders being in Category 3 coming over the line together.
Well, Category 2, still a huge group of riders moving towards the finish line. They've got 4.5 kilometres to go. They're on the plateau on the top. One small kicker climb to go before the descent and the run. And it's Ivan Nuki stretching his legs off the front of the pack.
Come on, Ivan, out of the saddle. Let's make this count. If you're going to go on the attack, you need to make it decisive. You need to shed some riders here coming over and then into that descent. But at the moment, Nuki with 5 kilometres left to go now, 4 kilometres. He can see that pack is coming. He knows he's going to need to have something for that descent, for that run to the line. Timing will be key. We know he's got a kick on him, but will it be enough when he's faced with some pure sprinters? Category 2 leaders, right-hand side of your screen, just under 4 kilometres to go. Meanwhile, you can see behind the attack is on the little riser coming out of the plateau and coming up over the climb here, because taking away the points at the top of the Valkenburg climb, Yongfei Wu goes through underneath that climb banner, leading behind him. Who has got the chase at the moment?
Well, the chase is on from Jason Osborne, Pavel Skirski, and Ollie Jones. Those are the 4 riders in Category 1 already through that checkpoint. Michael Knudsen is there, but he's 13 seconds back now.
So that gap just opening up and continue to open with the power of Wu, Osborne, Skirski and Jones, who all come back together again as they make their way into towards that race finish. They have some distance to go, but they should stay clear, because we're only just seeing the rest of the chasers come through. Knudsen at the moment in no man's land between Jones, who is at the back end of the leading group of 4, and Chugels, who leads a chasing group behind. And it's not a huge chase group.
So Chugels for Yasin, Kaminsky and Safra Zaidi, 4 riders doing the chasing there. Well, they are. I'm just looking at that. They're a further 22 seconds back on Michael Knudsen, which puts them at around 40 seconds behind the leading group.
I cannot see that leading group in Category 1 coming back, being brought back into the fold. Meanwhile, we're down in with Category 2. They've made the run down off the slopes. They're going to be heading down along this flat section for a little while at the moment, but we're going to be waiting to see what happens on that last little kicker before they drop into the descent. At the moment, they're not waiting for that move, because you can just see Mr. X100 on the front now, really winding it up with Ivan Nuki. They know there's this little kicker coming. They do a slight descent, and then they're onto this gradient here, which kicks up. And this is a chance to springboard clear at the front. We have seen a number of riders go over the top. We saw Paul Garin do that in category 4. He went clear over the top. He then went into the aero tuck. He then got pulled back down again. And at the moment, the pressure coming from Jonas Bjarhed accelerating, Guerra responding, Nuki responding, Mendakowicz responding. All of this big pack of category 2 riders know they're in with a chance. Who will have the kick? Who can hold their nerve? Who will go too early? Who will find themselves left wanting? The time to be decisive approaches, the timer to put a plan into action. But at the moment, over the top, I think we've just seen SS go on the attack, opening it up. It's not, it's Bjarhed. Bjarhed's gone. So Bjarhed had gone to the front, and Bjarhed has gone over the top. SS is chasing at the moment, the lead of the chasing group, but 3 seconds, that's not going to be enough, surely.
Well, nice move from Jonas Bjarhed. Flashed off the front of the pack on the descent, picked up the pace, carrying the momentum. Now, we saw Rod Loxley do this in the Category 5 race. Is it going to work for Jonas Bjarhed? It didn't work for Loxley. He finished up 9th. The pack swamped him. Is the pack going to swamp Bjarhed? Matt's nodding next to me.
I'm
Phil
afraid
Graves
so.
is leading
Hate to
the
say
charge.
it, but
well, Jacobs is there, Graves is there, Miller is there, Kalman, Berlin, Betty. Oh, Walter is there as well. If you're talking about sprinters, you've got a line up behind you, and they are catching Bjarhed. Oh, 1K to go.
the power of the pack is strong today. The pace of the advantage of the draft in a big group. This is going to be absolutely key. They come down the road. It's going to level out. The gradient has gone. They're onto the flatter section now. They come into the 90-degree left-hand bend, and then the banner comes very, very quickly indeed. That UCI banner. Now we get MyWhoosh, of course, the UCI Cycling Esports partner for 2024, 25, and the 26, hosting the World Championships. The power of the Sunday Race Club, though, is in full effect, because we've got some strong riders here. Hoffman at the moment leading this out. Hoffman at 10 watts per kilo behind. Björklund's coming at 12. Koistenen's coming at 12 as well. Can anybody eclipse them as they come in towards the line? Jokem's holding the front at the moment. Koistenen comes on his shoulder. Machado comes, but Jokem's is going to take that. Jokem's holding them off there. My goodness me, that was like an elimination race at the back of the group, because Jokem's wound it and wound it. Nobody could pass him.
Well, I have to say, congratulations to everyone, because that was one wowza sprint. Yodi Jokem's taking the win from Mikkel Manchando, Alexei Kalman, Nathan Guerra, and Tatu Koisonen. Christoph Thiem, Vidal Mer, Bert Kahan, Bruce Bird, Thomas Lennonen, Jakob Björklund, Jonas Randrop Kleiden. He's the Swedish esports champion. Khan Kahan, Mads Buster, Carlos Ospina, Anders Bengston, Frederick Gombert, Yves Niederhauser, Maciej Mendakowicz, Simon Walter, and I'm telling you the top 21 riders, because they are all inside 1 second.
So, no, Emma wasn't indeed reading the old phone book lying around in the Full Speed Event studio. That was the list of the riders inside 1 second. 21 riders coming in over the line, basically together. That was so close. You could have thrown a parachute over the riders who were within 1 second, because basically they were across the road. They took it from gutter to gutter, from curve to curve, to come into the finish. Phenomenal riding by Jochems to hold off the rest of the riders and to keep that pace there from Machado, from Kalman, who coming back into form. Guerra strong, as we've said. Koistonen finishing it off in style. Theme there as well. A real who's who. As we now go back in, let's focus in on the Category 1 race. Skierski, Jones, Osborne, and Woo.
Super tuck from Skierski. A little bit of micro rest there on the run into the finish, staying with the leading group. Woo, Osborne, Skierski, and Jones. This is 4 up in the Category 1 race going into the final K.
This, for me, could well be a preview of the top 4 at the World Championships, with the potential exception of Michael Vink, who would make that the top 5. Because I tell you something, Skierski, Wu, Osborne, and Jones are just so strong. They are riders on form. They are riders who have got a kick. This is going to be a sprint. It has been a short, sharp sprint race. It really has replicated a number of those checkpoints that you were going to see in the World Championships. And these are the riders who I suspect are likely to be figuring in that battle for the podium places inside the top 5. This is the run for the line. Less than 500 meters to go. Osborne here has got to answer the kick that come from Paul Skierski. You can see him out of the saddle on the left-hand side of the screen. Skierski goes early at 14 watts per kilo. Osborne is putting in 15 to come up close. Jones is coming at 17. Skierski has got to keep the kick going. He's got to kick again because Jones is going to come over the top. Super sprinter Ollie Jones has shown the power that took him to sprint win after sprint win in the MyWhoosh Stage Race Championship. Jones takes victory on Qualifier 3 in October. Osborne, Skierski, and Wu all coming in over the line. Phenomenal racing at the front of the race. But Ollie Jones, that is what you call a kick for the line.
Never beaten on the 55k Belgium course. Ollie Jones in 1, Jason Osborne in 2, Pavel Skierski in 3, and Yunfei Wu in 4. Knudsen through for 5th.
And this is the battle between Leonard Chugels and Lionel Vjasin. Vjasin up on the top of your screen here. He wants it. You can see how much he wants it on his face. Pushing his way through. Punches the air in delight. That was Vjasin there in that battle, coming in over the line. A little bit further back, you can see Mikhail Kaminsky coming in over the line. Just a drop from that group. He's still going to come in ahead of Said Safrazadi. So it is Jones in 1, Osborne in 2, Skierski in 3, Wu in 4, Knudsen in 5, Vjasin in 6. Then we had Chugels coming through in 7, Kaminsky in 8. The top 10 in category 1 still to be rounded out. You can just see Jochems there, the winner in category 2. The rider with currently the 8th fastest time in over the line. The results on your screen are live as we speak. And we see Kaminsky now updated on there. Don't forget, of course, all the results are available on www.mywhoosh.com. Just go to the results page. Whilst you're on there, make sure you subscribe to the emails to be updated as everything happens. Don't forget, you can follow MyWhoosh. It's at MyWhoosh on Instagram and on Facebook, and it's at my_whoosh on X. You can keep up with everything happening in the world of Emma Martin on at biking_Emma. Lots of interesting cycling content in there across a multitude of disciplines, but specialising, of course, as our expert in cycling esports. We have, of course, Emma on the Virtual Velo podcast, putting words to the riders rather than necessarily the action, as well as an overview with some of the leading figures in cycling esports. You can catch up with me at Matt Fixer Payne. Don't forget, I'm going to be, I'm sure I mentioned it maybe once or twice, that I'm going to be on the mic for the final day of the Paris Cycling Track World Championships coming from Brazil. A number of riders who race on the MyWhoosh Sunday race event, who are MyWhoosh regulars, out and racing, and indeed already putting in some fantastic top 10 performances in fearsome competition. Do make sure you watch that on the UCI YouTube channel. I'll be there much later today. We will be back for our finals. We're heading to the big climb of the Jebel Havit. This is going to be about getting up the big climb, the classic course, probably the classic course of the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. It's going to be the course that we all remember. But my goodness me, we've got even more riders now coming in to the finals. So do make sure that you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube or on Twitch TV. Until we see you next time, putting words to the action at a bike race from Emma and myself. A big thank you to the team behind the scenes. Thank you for watching. We'll see you soon.
Goodbye.